to start planning for it. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka has been family owned and operated for over 55 years. We understand the importance of pre-need planning. You can make decisions that reflect your personal wishes. You can choose the perfect location, whether it's a serene garden, a peaceful mausoleum, or a place in our cremation wall. Pre-need planning alleviates the burden from your loved ones during a time of grief. By planning ahead, you can secure today's prices, protecting yourself and your family from future cost increases. So why wait? Contact Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka today. Your final resting place should be a reflection of your unique journey. Take control of your future and make pre-need planning a priority. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka, where memories live on.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
So far, they have been not able to prove any evidence here of wrongdoing.
House GOP members continue to try and link Hunter's business dealings to the president, though they have yet to produce any concrete evidence.
Now, it is important to keep in mind, while Republicans believe that there is a tie between Hunter Biden's business dealings and the president himself, they have yet to provide any hard evidence that the president himself has done anything wrong.
House Republicans are going to accuse him.
They are.
They're going to make the accusation.
They're going to accuse him of all sorts of stuff.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. We've got, of course, my sidekick, Eddie Bader is here. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing good, Joey. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. And off camera, we got Sky Mosley, but he's in the studio. How you doing, Sky?
I'm right here. You can't see me, but I'm here.
But we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah. And I was just playing there to open up the show. That is, what NBC and ABC and CBS and all these people have been saying. That, Joe Biden, there's no evidence Joe Biden profited off of his son's business dealings.
The evidence or not.
Correct.
And Republicans have not tied the president, Joe Biden, to profiteering from them.
They didn't have the evidence yet. No.
Where's the evidence? There is no evidence of any wrongdoing by the president.
There is today zero evidence that Joe Biden, the president of the United States, knew about what his son was doing. And if the president of the United States committed the kind of offenses that in the Republican fever dreams they're saying he committed without any evidence, there is at this point zero evidence that Joe Biden is guilty of anything.
What if, say, one of Joe and Hunter in particular's top business partner, Devin Archer?
Yeah.
What if he testified in front of the House, committee here soon and said that, actually, I watched Hunter several times put his father on the phone to talk to our business partners here.
Is that maybe why they tried to have him arrested?
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't say that, Joe. He's on his way to jail. They asked him to show up for jail.
Hope those security cameras don't fail.
Man. What about Tony Bobulinski, where he's like, I'm involved heavily. They ripped me off for millions. And it was very clear they wanted a corporate structure to where it was easy to siphon off money to certain parties. Say 10% for the big guy.
Got to wet his beak.
You've got folks who worked for Burisma saying this is going on. You've got IRS people now saying, hey, this was clearly money laundering, and they were structuring payments in a particular way.
Those people don't know what they're talking about.
And then at the end of the day, I'm sitting here in Montgomery as a talk radio host. You're not even paid to be here. You're a real estate agent.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go on vacation.
You're a good one.
Right
I mean, you earned that money movement.
Thank you.
You're a retired, hippie nighttime jock, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right, classic rock guy.
Yeah.
You want to live and let live and have a good time.
Politics.
Right. So we're not up there trying to adjudicate this case. But come on. Why else would Hunter Biden get on the board of Burisma? Other than his contacts
and
to
he
his
was paid
father.
almost $100K a month, as I
Right.
recall, and he had no experience.
Or how about all these deals with like top Chinese firms or trade? And it's nothing wrong with trading on the family name. Yeah, but if you're funneling it back and it seems like you're the bag man for the big man constantly, and it's not just the Bidens, the Clintons did this. I'd be not surprised if even Trump did this or the Bush people did
What's
this.
the one thing they're selling? What's really what is Hunter influence?
Influence or the
Right, what else you got?
you get an open door is what you're buying. You get the illusion of influence peddling because sometimes you actually do get influence if they agree with you, but then in other times they're just ripping people off. Like, hell yeah, give to our foundation and you'll give to this business deal. Put my son on your board and you'll get more access. Actually, in the case of Ukraine, your country might, be completely wrecked and hundreds of thousands dead.
Joey.
But, a Biden always keeps his word, right?
You don't mess with a Biden.
Like, we don't have to sit here and prove this in court. Do we think top career politicians have been using their power and access to the levers of power to enrich themselves and their friends?
Does a fat baby fart?
Amen, brother.
Come on, Joey.
And this is what I can't for the life of me. 6%. That's the approval of Congress. When you look at all the trust and the approval, 6%.
That's only because I like my guy. Everybody else sucks. That's
Right.
why. That's where they're getting the 6% from.
Right. Like, even strip clubs have better ratings with evangelical Christians. Like, that doesn't make sense. 6%. And yet, even though Americans assume this about most politicians, that most Americans assume, what's the line?
In politics, man must learn to rise above principle.
Or in other words, when the water reaches the upper deck, follow the rats. And we know these folks are rats up there. They're cockroaches. They're able to survive. And this idea that they continue to put on a prim and proper face. Etiquette. There's a clip that was making the rounds over the weekend when Peter Doocy first asked Joe Biden, what about your son, or no, your son's daughter, your granddaughter? What about your granddaughter, Navy? And Joe brought up, well, that's a personal matter, but I expect that from you. Real class act.
Yeah.
Real class act. Well, I'm tired of getting lectures from people like Joe Biden or anybody else up there in Washington, D.C., whether it's Mitch McConnell or Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, whoever it is. I'm tired of getting moral lectures from some of the worst people in the world. You will upend entire nations, and then you'll turn around and go, well, how dare you bring up my illegitimate grandchild we're trying to deny the Biden last name? Because your son couldn't keep it in his pants during his crack habit. Oh, how dare you bring all that stuff? It's so mean. Why don't we be prim? Screw being prim and proper. It's your etiquette. It's your niceties. It's, well, we're having a pleasant time. We can all get along. That allows you to get away with depraved things that no other person on this earth could. And I'm tired of it. So let all the sunshine come through. Let's shine a light, not just on the Bidens or the Clintons, but on the Trumps and the Bushes. Everybody up there, shine a big old light on Goat Hill here in Montgomery. Let it all out.
Ooh, buddy.
And if it comes at the end of the day, well, they all need to go to Gitmo, so be it. But this selective game of, well, it's okay to go after somebody with everything but the kitchen sink, but all the other politicians, say, before Trump, they were on the up and up. They were, I mean, we had disagreements, but remember Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill hated each other.
I thought so,
I'm
too.
so tired of that anecdote. They could even sit down. One time they sat down for whiskey. One time. Stop it with your fairy tales. It used to be so good. Yeah, when the gravy train was flowing and everybody could be bought off, it was a great time in America.
That's still happening, Joey.
Yeah, but now the gravy train's running thin.
Right.
It's like, is this even gravy anymore? Is this Soylent Green? I can't decide
A
anymore.
little bit of water in here now.
So, no evidence. No evidence. No, we don't need the evidence. We're not in a courtroom. We're in the court of public opinion. And I think after weighing all the evidence out there, you've been weighed, you've been sized up, you've been measured, and you're all found wanting. You're a bunch of corrupt thugs that are very good at being polite in your nicely tailored suits. And I think more and more Americans are buying that. And yet, even though 6% only approve of Congress, my congressman, my senator, well, they're just great. I mean, isn't Barrymore great?
I love Barrymore.
Isn't Coach Tuberville great?
Yes,
Stand-up guy.
Did you see that Senator Katie Britt came out in support of Tuberville? Well, it kind of. We'll get to that quote in a second.
She's very
But she was very much against the DoD abortion policy. She came out strongly against that.
Good. That's
So
not a surprise.
we
man.
like our own, right? But Congress sucks.
Well, they do generally, yes.
There's something rotten there when things don't add up like that. 272-9228. Let's see who this is on line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Surprise, surprise.
Hey, Red Top.
Joey, well put. I didn't know it was as low as 6%, but it doesn't surprise me. God. I don't know how anybody gets away with that bad a job approval. Me and Eddie would not get paid, period. And these people get paid for doing nothing or bad work. Eddie, I'm confused.
We're in the wrong business, man.
I got to be perfect everywhere I go,
Right.
Joey. Damn it. I guess I'm in the wrong business. I'm ready to go into politics.
And that's just to get paid. I mean, these people are getting their money on the front end and the back end.
Gosh.
Well, there are three ways from the beginning of time. There are a few ways to make money in this world. You could create it. You could create wealth. You could produce something. Somebody could trade with you or give it to you. So you either make a business deal or you inherit it. Yeah. And there's a third way. Oh, you take it from other people.
Baby.
And which way does the government get their money?
Always.
Eddie, I got some news for you, by the way. They just changed the real estate laws to make exchanges impossible.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so they made some changes, and I ain't got to tell you how often they change the real estate laws, like every damn session. And, I don't know how realtors could keep up with it, but even in the 3 years I was a realtor, they changed the law so much. It was stunning.
Oh, yeah.
They went from owning 22 properties down to 7. And as far as an investor goes, and there was a panic of sales. I mean, I was selling whole condo buildings in Atlanta because all these doctors bought condo conversions. They had to sell all the damn things.
Oh, yeah.
Katie Britt did do something very good last week, though, that nobody's bringing up. She, in the Appropriations Committee, got a bunch of money pulled back into Alabama from the infrastructure bill that wasn't going to come here. So we may not hear from her, but she actually did do something, and I forgot where I heard that, guys, on one of the Sunday morning shows. And, Joey, I want you to check out the governor of North Dakota that has just entered the Republican race. The guy who was giving away $20 gift cards.
Wait, the governor of North Dakota?
I'm pretty sure it's North Dakota. He's the one that's been giving away gift cards.
Y'all look that up.
For donations.
How do you do that?
And I'd never seen or heard of him before, but he was on, I do believe he's on Fox News, and he's real damn good. He's a lot like Vivek. And let me tell you what he said. He said, consulting firms charge $100 a person to get that up to that 40,000. You got to have 40,000 donors or calls to get in the Republican race.
Right.
And he said, screw this crap. That's $4 million. So why don't I just give the money to some people? So he came up with a $20 gift card. It's completely legal. And he said, I'd rather give the money to the citizens than some damn consulting group. So here's what's going on. These guys ain't making no calls, they ain't doing no collect. They just get professional companies, pay them $100 a person to get these calls done.
Well, of course. So, Sky, looks like you found something here.
North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is offering anyone who donates at least $1, just $1, will get you in a $20 gift card in return.
Does $2 get me 40?
No. $1 minimum for a $20 gift card. The offer is good for the first 50,000 donors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he has to get 40,000 to qualify, but I'd be damned if he didn't do it.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Well, how shrewd.
Good for that dude.
Yeah.
And you remember him, Joey, and pull up his interview on Fox News Sunday. It was very good. He's a lot like Vivek. He looks a little bit like him, too. And I didn't say his name because I couldn't remember because I never heard the damn thing before in my life.
Well,
so, good food for thought, gentlemen. Y'all have a great day. Roll Tide, go Trump.
See you, Red Top.
I'm glad Red Top could remember all that through the purple haze. But, yeah, as we said, Katie Britt, DoD abortion policy, an attempt to undermine life on the taxpayer. Wait, who chose this photo?
That's
a cute photo.
That's not bad.
I don't know about that.
Well, boy. Makeup.
After the U.S. Hey, enough on that. I'm sorry I brought it up. After the U.S. Senate recently passed a spending package without the House provision to stop military-funded abortions for service members, U.S. Senator Katie Britt criticized the ongoing attempt by the Biden administration to undermine life on the taxpayer dime. Okay, well, so I guess...
Nice quote.
We haven't heard, completely forthright, giving her giving a hug to Coach Tuberville, but she seems to agree that this is...
Not disagreeing with him.
Yeah, on the underlying policy, it's, I think, disagreement over the approach.
But she had a focus group, study group, perhaps come in and say, hey, you need to get on the right side of this.
Maybe, and they're each allowed to have their own approach, not trying to drive a wedge here. But here's what happened, folks. The NDAA was passed in the House, and it had a provision completely banning this new policy, the one Tuberville has his hold on.
Yeah.
Well, the Senate then passed the NDAA last Thursday without including the controversial House amendments. It also did things like getting woke out of the military, yada, yada, yada. So Republican majority House and the Democrat-controlled Senate, just controlled by a hair, they'll go to a conference committee to reach an agreement, and we'll see what comes out of that. But, of course, Tuberville standing strong. And Katie Britt put this out. Senate Republicans were able to block our Democrat colleagues from codifying the administration's policy in our version of the fiscal year 2024 National Defense Authorization Act. As the House and Senate go to conference on the NDAA, it is more important now than ever that the facts are told about what President Biden is doing to undermine life on the taxpayer dime. She continued, quote, as a member of the Appropriations Committee, I was also proud yesterday to vote for and successfully advance a measure that preserves the Hyde Amendment for another fiscal year. I will continue to defend life at every turn. And a spokesman for Tuberville, we asked him this last week, but Coach is saying his resolve has not changed and will continue until the DoD reverses its policy or the Democrats bring a clean bill to the floor to amend the policy. So good on both of our senators for actually, putting that out there and fighting the good fight. A lot of people in Alabama appreciate.
Sure.
272-9228 is our number.
They're doing what we sent them there to do.
And is this Clark, who usually... Clark's been on hold, I think it was for the last show, but I'll talk... Clark, you there?
Yeah. Hello, I am here.
Hey, Clark. Good to hear from you, sir. How are you?
Yes, sir. I'm great. So, I have a question for you.
All right.
On the letter that the DOJ sent to Devon Archer and his lawyer on Saturday, no less, do you think if the DOJ would have been able to incarcerate Mr. Archer on the eve of his congressional testimony, there would be a very prominent story today that featured, security camera malfunctions?
Yeah. or some type mishap.
And when I saw that being said over the weekend, I think he has now been sentenced to a year. I don't know if he's actually been arrested. I haven't caught
they know where he's going to be.
All right.
Old charge. It's from like 2018 or 19.
Something they held
and
over his
he's
head.
had it on appeal. Yeah, but on the eve of his testimony, the DOJ sent that letter out. I swear.
Yeah.
We are shining a light for Banana Republic is what we're doing.
Yeah,
This
buddy.
is how you do it.
Exactly. It's a shame that the American farm is promoted to the production of bananas these days. And with funny money, like monopoly money.
Real money.
Well,
It's a shame.
The coup in Nigeria, I looked at that and I said, how primitive. They had to have the military to have a coup.
Right.
We can do it here with just 6 election boards doing counts overnight. Well, stopping counts and then restarting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
we're
and-
taking it to a whole nother level.
No doubt.
And I just found this quote. I actually used it for an essay a few months back when we talked about the Hunter Biden of Alabama. But get a load of this quote. This is Hunter to Devon Archer. I believe it was in an email. Quote, every great family is persecuted. You are part of a great family, not a sideshow, not deserted by them even in your darkest moments. That's the way Bidens are different, and you are a Biden. It's the price of power, and the people questioning you truly have none. Yeah, these are just great, wholesome people right here saying stuff like that.
It is a great family. It will go down in the annals of history as superior to the Capone family.
Oh, yeah.
Superior to the Lucianos.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, somebody with some talent should be able to do something with Gangster Paradise and the Biden.
And the Bidens. Yeah.
Yes, living in a Biden paradise.
Yeah, I have a feeling, I'm worried that if Devin Archer does get to testify, he'll just go to the mic and go, we go way back in the olive oil business. That's all it is.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, I appreciate you holding on, Clark.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you, sir.
See you, Clark.
272-9228. Let's go to William before the break. Hey, William.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if you heard this thing. A woman pulled up something on the internet. I don't really believe it, but Ted Cruz was the Zodiac killer.
That goes way back, though.
It does? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That rumor's been around a while now.
You know, there's another one, Garth Brooks.
Oh, he's a serial killer?
He's a serial killer, yeah.
Well, did you all see that Ted Cruz retweeted RFK Jr., because RFK Jr. was talking about this, the assassination of my uncle,
Right.
JFK. We need to look into this, release all the documents. Ted Cruz quote tweeted that and said, finally, we'll get to the bottom of this and clear my father's name. And it's like, at least he's having a good time with
There
it.
you go. Sense of humor. I like that.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess you show you how dirty politics is. Wow.
Oh, it's nuts, man.
Yeah. Oh, I just wondered if you all heard about it. Thank you for telling me.
Hey, thank you, William. You have a
Thank
great
you,
one, buddy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I don't think that was started by any campaign. I think that was just a fun
Been out
internet
there a while,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if y'all remember the Mountain Dew Internet Choose the New Name for the New Flavor contest.
Who won, Joey?
Well, and Mountain Dew, to their credit, said, okay, you win Internet. We're not using that name. Because they didn't supply names where you could choose from. They're like, you Internet,
pick. That's right.
you get to supply the names of the new Mountain Dew
And it
flavor.
wasn't Flavor McFlav or nothing
No,
like
it wasn't Flavor McFlav. It wasn't like, awesome, bruh, dude.
Right.
All right. No, the name that won the Mountain Dew New Flavor contest is Hitler Did Nothing Wrong. And so Mountain Dew said, okay, Internet, you win. We're not using that name.
Yep.
But I think the Internet, that same Internet would definitely start saying that Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer.
That Internet taught a lesson that day, Joey.
Oh, goodness gracious. You kids these days. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Before we hit this break, tell us about the Alabama Gazette, Sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. The Alabama Gazette, of course, is your hometown conservative newspaper, published right here in beautiful downtown Montgomery for over 23 years, serving central Alabama proper. There is a job, actually several job opportunities available right now at the Alabama Gazette. An excellent opportunity for a semi-retired or even retired person who'd like to get back into the workforce. Take this number down, 657-7736. The Gazette primarily in search of a print layout artist, but also general office help. That's most anyone can qualify for that. Do you know what it means to go to work? Can you show up? Give the Alabama Gazette a call, 657-7736. Excellent employment opportunity, especially for someone who might be an aspiring writer. It's a chance to have your work seen and perhaps even published. Good things can happen. Give them a call, 657-7736. The Alabama Gazette is hiring.
Appreciate it, Sky. Now, I believe it's Eric the dog saying, Eddie looks like a long-lost cast member of Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
He does!
Yes.
Of course, folks, we're now live streaming the show. You can see my face and my glorious hair. My hair is looking great today.
I'm really a little envious of the hair today because it is looking good.
And you can see Eddie in the shades. That's why I think Eric made the comment.
Well, I've been watching the live streams and I look like I got googly eyes. I got too much going on, so I think it's best if we
He's
just
saying
kinda
you're like
hide 'em a little bit.
Spicoli's cousin.
It's probably his older uncle.
Dude.
And wait. John Gale is saying that without a hat, I look like Lane Kiffin. Well, I'll take it, sir. That guy, he gets a lot. Or something. Like he's doing well in life.
I'm not seeing it.
I don't see the Lane Kiffin thing either.
Neither do I.
Here, let's go to
I think
Angel
Ridgemont is much more
real quick. Hey, Angel.
Hey, maybe you can enlighten me a little bit here. Concerning the subpoenas that they're serving on all these people that have these corporations, why don't they start from the bottom up? The people that are actually on that LLC or whatever they have, they're collecting the money for Biden.
Start with people like a Tony Bobolinsky, a Devin Archer.
No. Whoever is who's getting the money? What cooperation did they start who's getting the money on the bottom of that? Whose name is on
Get
that?
it to roll over,
Right.
roll up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that takes investigative work because I'm pretty sure they had a pretty fancy corporate structure and a bunch of different shell companies.
Yeah, but if they start with start with the little people, that probably.
Oh, they'll turn.
One
in a
day
hurry.
somebody is going to talk.
Yep.
One day.
Exactly.
No, that makes sense, Angel. You start with the little fish and you start eating the bigger fish as you go along.
Well, if you had a serious investigation, that's how it'd be done. But we
Right.
don't have that.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Well, that was just a thought. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you,
for taking
Angel.
the call.
Appreciate the call. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they can help you men out. You've been by there, Eddie, right?
Oh, yeah.
But they actually did a test for you, and you did not have a low T.
No, they said, hey, fat boy, you're cooking.
You had high T for a 50-something-year-old man.
Yeah, they did.
Like, I'm not surprised, given some of the times I call him and he's in a bad mood. Like, what a man here. But they gave you help anyway.
Oh, yeah, they put me on, I can't remember the exact name of it, but they put me on basically a regimen, and it really helped out because, Joey, it took my sleep pattern, which was god-awful. I mean,
Right.
I was waking up 3 or 4 times a night. I got a much better sleep pattern. I seemed to be much better focused, and it upped my metabolism, no doubt.
Right.
No doubt.
Right. I think, what is it, like the lipo shot? It's like a B vitamin
Lipo injection,
complex.
that's it.
Lipo
Thank you.
injection,
Yep.
yeah. And it worked.
No, it worked well. Very well.
Of course, if you do have low T, they also have treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can change your life, including sleep patterns that are better. Or maybe you're going to the gym and you're not seeing any results. Well, you'll start to see those gains, brother.
Yeah, I better so, brother. If I go to the gym,
Right.
I need some gains.
Hey, and maybe you just have no libido to speak of. Once you get on these testosterone treatments, hey, you're going to be, as they said to Eddie, cooking. And, of course, they can help you with things like ED or PE. You know what I'm talking about. Or if you need to check prostate health. They can do that there at Montgomery Men's Health as well. So make an appointment today. They're reinventing men's health care here in the River Region. That's 440-3663, 440-3663, or go to montgomerymenshealth.com and be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. More News and Views in the afternoon, well, after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
During Prattville Carpet's summer sale, you can get Mohawk waterproof flooring, regularly priced at $11 per foot installed, right now priced at $7 per foot installed. That's huge summer savings. And get interest-free financing for up to 12 months with approved credit. Call 285-8117. Or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair. For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house.
How you doing, Joey?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm all right.
And Sky Mosley is here as well.
Reverend.
You know, one of these days, we got to put a camera on you, man.
Yeah, it's fine. I wore a clean shirt today in expectation.
Okay, you're just so
thanks a
bashful
lot.
about it. You're feeling better?
I am definitely feeling so
good.
much better. I've decided I want to live.
That's good. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, there is always a point in a certain sickness that's going to always like just
take me
kill
now.
me now.
Yeah,
Take me
well,
now.
it's cure me or kill me. And
Right.
either way, I'm all set for life.
Right, yeah.
I had enough of this crap.
Last time I had like a week or two one, it was over Thanksgiving. You remember how
Oh,
froggy
yeah.
I was on the air? Yeah, I was just like, take me now.
Had the man flu.
Yeah.
Common cold.
The man flu?
Yeah, it was a cold.
I don't think it was just a cold, big boy. Well, now we
I
got
like to complain when I get sick.
we got some local news here.
Oh yeah.
For those in the Montgomery area. Well, we all know. Like I was at the Walgreens today, getting some of my nicotine fix.
Getting fixed.
Yeah. And I noticed they were selling old Lee High School like T-shirts.
Really?
Like Robert E. Lee Generals or whatever. So you
Collector's
go,
item.
Yeah. Free plug to Walgreens. Go get some. There, the one on Atlanta Highway and Perry Hill. That's where I stopped to get my nicotine fix. And I saw that and I went, oh, interesting. Those names are slowly but surely going to become something in the past, both Lee and Jeff Davis High School.
Yeah.
Well, then it broke this morning after I got my nicotine fix and saw those General shirts. It broke across local news wires that they now have new mascots for the newly named schools.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so let's look at
What's
this
we got?
together. All right, let's see here. Rename Montgomery High Schools, unveil mascots. Montgomery schools have unveiled the mascots for its two renamed high schools. In a video released on YouTube this morning, the school system announced that Percy Julian High School will be called the Phoenix. Or the Phoenixes? Or is it just is it one of those words like moose?
Yeah.
Or fish?
Yeah. I think so.
So we're the Phoenixes, or we're the
Well, that
Phoenix.
really relates to Montgomery.
Right. I mean, could
very,
you
very
at least-
much. The mythical Phoenix bird.
Right.
And now Jag High School will be called the Jaguars.
Fabulous.
That's exciting.
We have a lot of them around here, I understand.
Now, Percy Julian High School is the new name for Lee High School, which had been named for Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Thank you for that. JAG is the new name for Jefferson Davis High School. It was called the Volunteers. JAG is in honor of Judge Frank Johnson Jr., Ralph Abernathy, and Reverend Robert Grates. Johnson was a constitutional lawyer and federal judge. Abernathy and Reverend Robert Grates are two titans of the civil rights movement. The name JAG comes from the first letter of each honoree's last name. Thank you for teaching us how acronyms work.
I still think we're better off just let a company sponsor it every year, and we'll call it whatever you want for that year, your sponsorship. That way we know the funds are there, just like they do stadiums.
Right.
They could be Coca-Cola High School. Or we do like New York, Public School 1, Public School 2, Public School 3.
So Dr. Percy L. Julian was a Montgomery-born black chemist and pioneer in medicine. The new names were announced in November of last year. Efforts to rename the schools began in the summer of 2020. And then Lanier High School had originally been scheduled to be renamed, but the school board voted last year to close that school as part of its capital improvement plan. Those students will be shifted to Carver. Should we watch this video here? Should we check this out?
This will be great.
That makes you feel better.
I think that should be a interesting thing to at least check out, see how they present the new mascots, right? Like, we should at least watch together, children.
Have we spent money on this?
Hmm?
Has there been money spent on
Oh,
this?
of course there's been money spent on this. That's how it works. But let's listen in together. Oh, it's just one of these. Okay, what do we think of that Jaguar?
It looks low budget already. It looks like you ordered it from Wish.
You don't like that?
No, it looks like it was drawn by a third grader. My luck, it's something's going to come back and haunt me now. But it looks kind of low budget.
Yeah, it does.
Well, it is Montgomery.
But the music, I like that. Now,
the music's good.
Yeah, it comes out
let's
kicking
keep
butt. I
going.
like that.
Percy L. Julian, high school. Okay, what do we think of the Phoenix logo there?
I actually like it a little better than the Jaguar, I want to be honest.
Yeah, that's not
Looks
bad.
a little more professional.
Well, I mean, I don't mind this video.
But now-
The music's kicking.
Yeah, but all this has been done, right? We can expect straight A students from here on out.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it was the
I
names
think
that,
that's
it was the
exactly
names
what we're
that
gonna
caused
get.
these schools to be disasters. Is that correct?
Right. I mean, you got to have, you got to have a brand new day sometimes.
Let's just go with public school 1,
restart
public school
things.
2.
I was hoping E.D. Nixon would be one of the chosen candidates. Most worthy local man who struggled mightily and mostly behind the scenes during the civil rights movement. And
Yeah, I mean, it's almost
fine
like
man.
all the people that had a warm place in their heart for those names like Lee and Jeff Davis. Like my parents went to Jeff Davis. It's almost like all those folks moved.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I heard what you did there, Joey. Well, perhaps if they didn't change the name, there would be more graduates from those schools. And not everybody would move out so suddenly. But now, Joey.
Wait, no, they moved
extinct.
before they changed the name.
Every time that they had a graduation, though, you had new residents who graduated from Lee High School. You do not have that anymore.
That's true.
So you just diluted it.
Yeah. Montgomery is a weird place where it's like you graduate from high school and then you just get out.
Join the military and get out.
Oh.
That's what a lot of people used to do.
Seems that's exactly what's happened. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And I'm telling you what, folks, Todd Clark has put together a fantastic team. He's helped out so many of our listeners, we lost count.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we even had to stop talking about those
Right.
seamless gutters because they were selling so many.
Right.
I'm sorry for bringing it up now, but they're doing that
Thanks,
much
Joey.
work, that
Thanks,
great.
Joey.
But if you are looking to have, say, your roof inspected, or you might know you have a problem, in fact, or it could be you just don't know and you're due.
Right.
Whether it's been too many years where you haven't had it checked out, or it could be, hey.
That last little storm that rolled in.
Yeah.
Said, hey, I need to get something done on that.
And so you have a metal roof. They redid the whole roof, right?
Yep, they replaced all my screws in my metal roof. I did the free inspection, took advantage of the free inspection.
Yeah, it's free inspection.
Actually, honestly, it paid off for me in the end because they showed me the screws they pulled out, Joey. Many of them were on their last leg. I would have had a leak, no doubt, through this summer. And at that point, right now, I took care of it on my schedule. When you got a leak, all of a sudden it's emergency.
So the inspection was free. They gave you an estimate, too.
Yep.
Also
And-
free?
Yeah, the estimate was free, and the price at the end was the same as the estimate.
Wow.
There was no upcharge. There was no, hey, Eddie, that roof was a little steeper than we thought it was, or hey, no screws. We used more screws, or right to the penny.
And I'd imagine you had homeowner's insurance.
Oh, I do, but...
Oh, you went out and just
Yeah.
took it out of your pocket? Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
There.
I don't like to have my
Well, if
insurance
you're
go
not
up.
like Moneybags Bader here, and you have homeowner's insurance, and you hope that the insurance company is going to cover that problem with your roof, they're insurance specialists there.
Oh, yeah.
River Region Contracting,
They've helped
too.
out several of my clients with that, man.
Yeah, they do great work. So check them out today. That number for River Region Contracting, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. Bonus points if you go, hey, Eddie got his roof done. I heard about it on the radio. Bonus points if you say it exactly that way. How about we hit a break here?
Hey, I want you to look at Jeremy Brooks' comment before we go to break. Why don't you read that one?
Jeremy Brooks?
Yeah. Do you not see that one?
No.
A hairy undershirt would pop with those baby blue eyes, Joey.
Wait, Joey, let's see. I have a Big Head 100 that says you have outgrown the Cowboy Curtis hat.
It's the next one.
I like that.
A hairy undershirt would pop the baby blue. My eyes are hazel, you dope. You would have known that if you had looked deeply into them like I asked you at that pool party. We'll be right back.
may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Are we loco at Marguerite's? Oh, yeah. Yes, we are. We've lost our mind at Marguerite's. We're doing polish, rhodium, and inspection of rings only, till August 5th for no charge. Now, everyone else charges $150 to $300. We charge $65 to $100. But forget about that. Bring in up to 5 rings. Doesn't matter if they're from Marguerite's, not. Doesn't matter if you ever shopped at Marguerite's or not. It's real quiet. There's no small print on this. Just trying to create a little traffic at Marguerite's. Till August 5th. Bring in your old rings. Let us make them look like new.
This is Evan Bass for Montgomery Men's Health, and I've been helping men with low testosterone issues for over a decade. I've seen firsthand how low testosterone sneaks up on you, often so slowly that you just get used to all the issues that come along with being low T. If you're experiencing a low sex drive, if your energy just isn't what it used to be, if you're gaining unwanted fat or have issues with muscle gain in the gym, you very well may have low testosterone. At Montgomery Men's Health, we've successfully treated many men for low T, and the results can be life-changing. Many of our patients start putting on muscle again when they work out. They find they have more energy, they sleep better, and their sex lives often improve as well. So make an appointment today and see if low T therapy can make the difference for you. Your first appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult with testosterone lab results in minutes. Call 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
Are we loco at Marguerite's? Oh, yeah. Yes, we are. We've lost our mind at Marguerite's. We're doing polish, rhodium, and inspection of rings only, till August 5th for no charge. Now, everyone else charges $150 to $300. We charge $65 to $100. But forget about that. Bring in up to 5 rings. Doesn't matter if they're from Marguerite's, not. Doesn't matter if you ever shopped at Marguerite's or not. It's real quiet. There's no small print on this. Just trying to create a little traffic at Marguerite's. Till August 5th. Bring in your old rings. Let us make them look like new.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. On this last day of July, temperatures are headed for the upper 90s again, but the difference is the humidity will be a little bit more bearable than the weekend. Today's high temperature up to about 97. There will be plenty of sunshine. I've got the rain chances at 20% or less today. Tonight, slowed down to about 74. Tomorrow, first day of August, lots of sunshine, high 98. Should be dry Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday's high around 96. Widely scattered storms returning Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. For work at your hunting camp or a job site, you need a utility vehicle you can depend on. The Kubota Sidekick from Capital Tractor, power to haul and top speeds of 40 miles per hour. Kubota and Capital Tractor in Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader here in the house. As is Sky Mosley.
Rock and roll.
How you doing, Sky?
All right, man.
Have we got, I guess, some guests coming up here? Should be a good time.
I love it when you're on top of things, Joey. I love it.
9228. It's almost like I'm doing 3 or 4 jobs.
It's
over
Monday
here.
strikes again.
But this part of the program brought to you by Carl Schmidt there at the Herb Shop. And folks, if you have not been by there, Carl and the team can help supplement that health and wellness for you. Could be you're now, let's face it, a senior citizen. No shame in that.
No.
But it could be as you get older, you start having deficiencies in certain crucial vitamins, minerals, nutrients. Well, Carl can help you pinpoint that and get you right in that regard. They also have things like aromatherapy. Maybe you've lost your sense of smell. Mm-hmm. They can really get that back with all these different scents, and it's literally just, and you just sniff it a little bit. Or it could be just for mood regulation. I know Greg Budell's been doing that for a while, where you lavender to soothe you, calm you down, peppermint to give you that little pep in your step and energy. Does wonders.
Been trying to get him to do that on Friday before we get to here, a little lavender. Hadn't been working, though. I think he's doing the peppermint.
Yeah, he's doing too much of the peppermint. He is jacked up on peppermint. And then, of course, they also, maybe you're an athlete, they have specialty vitamin packs for athletes or folks that maybe you're an outdoorsman and you just need that extra boost. And don't forget about the LifeWave X39 phototherapy patch. This is a stem cell patch. It stimulates stem cell growth within the body. What does that mean? Well, it means, hey, it's true reverse aging. You're going to have an immune response like you had 10, 15, 20 years ago. Really is remarkable technology. It's just a patch you wear up to 12 hours a day on the nape of your neck or under your belly button, and it's really going to work wonders. It did for me. Fixed a terrible shoulder problem that was bedeviling me for months and months and months. And started wearing the patch, and it's gone away. So Carl can do that and so much more. Check them out today. They're a brand new location there in the Pepper Tree Shopping Center, nestled in between Marguerite's and Jalapenos. And it's right off of Vaughn Road. But, of course, you can always call Carl at 271-2882. That's 271-2882. And be sure to tell him you heard about him here on News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. Let's see who this is on line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey. This is Babs, and I'm offended.
What?
Hey, Babs.
Can you imagine anybody being offended anymore? But I'm offended if they're going to change the names of the school, and I went to Lanier, and I graduated in 1960, ever how many years that is. Mm-hmm. And it makes me angry that they're doing that. Plus, the building was a fabulous building. I hope somebody buys it and does something with it. But if they're going to change the name from a Southern person, why couldn't it be just something general and not something to honor blacks? Is that racist? Am I being racist? I'm sure somebody will say I am.
Well, I'm not here to accuse you of doing a racism, but
it just makes me angry. We can't honor, white people, and I know, the whole gibbly-gop, but just make it some crazy name and don't name it after people. But anyway, that's my rant.
Well, I appreciate it, Babs.
Thank you, Babs.
All right, y'all have a good rest of the week.
And they just got rid of City Lanier High School altogether.
Yeah, it's almost like the majority black population in Montgomery ain't a fan of all that stuff.
You think?
Yeah, I just why people are surprised by this.
If only we could get the truth out there.
I don't know. When I went to high school in Alaska, it was called A.J. Diamond. I had no idea what that meant. Never cared. Never gave it one thought.
Right.
And I same thing when I went to high school here. I went to Capitol Heights, and I never gave it a thought. I was more struggling with, oh man, these D's are going to I'm going to get my butt whooped. I didn't care about the name of the school. I don't know when.
Do you know what Andrew Diamond means now?
A.J. Diamond, no.
A.J. Diamond?
No, but they named a mall after him too,
remember.
and something else. I mean, I think that
was he like an important Alaskan, like explorer, maybe?
Could have been. I don't know.
Maybe an oil rig fella.
Could have been. I don't know. I just know Joe Juno. He was the man that.
Maybe he hunted grizzly.
Nah,
A.J. Grizzly Man Diamond.
No.
No, it wasn't any of that.
No.
And that was the name of your school.
Yeah.
But you're so committed to fighting those D's.
And I think I played soccer for him. I played a couple sports, so I had the jerseys, but I never once thought, who's this Diamond guy? And I
Well, you never had to worry about that with Robert E. Lee and Jeff Davis.
Right, I knew who they were
People
growing
still
up.
don't know who they are.
I've never let it affected my thought on the school and the name and all. I don't know. Not something that bothered me.
I went to the Parkway District in St. Louis, and we were north. So
see, I went to
how that works.
What was the name of your school?
Parkway North.
And that was
senior high.
What was like elementary school?
We were the Vikings, man.
What was your elementary
Parkway
school?
North
Right.
Elementary.
So what's wrong with just calling them the neighborhood schools?
And we were the Vikings there too. So
now
I don't know.
I went to the what is now called Montgomery Catholic Preparatory School, but at the time it was St. Bede Preschool, St. Bede Elementary School.
What did St. Bede do?
Then Catholic Middle School or Junior High, which is still at St. Bede, and then I went to the campus on Vaughan Road, the high school, and now it's all just called one thing, and we're still the Knights.
Well, that's good.
Catholic Knights?
Right.
What about the Jaguars?
Well, and it's one of those few private schools here in town that was started up long before the whole 50s and 60s thing. It was started
It's
by
still successful, right?
Sisters of the Poor.
I think why Phoenix though? I kind of get Jaguars because JAG.
Yeah.
Why Phoenix? They should have stuck with a winner, gone with the biscuits.
I remember the first time I saw the biscuits. Like, what in the hell is this world coming to?
Maybe it has something to do with
it. Works.
But it grew on me. It really did. It really
maybe,
did.
I don't know if Top had the breakthroughs of Percy Julian, but maybe something he came up with in chemistry or medicine or something.
I
like rising from the ashes like a
I mean, if we're going to go down this road, let's go. Come on.
I don't get the Phoenix part either.
The water parks, Come on. Have a little fun.
They'll be changing that name shortly. That probably won't be around that much.
Your negativity. What did I tell
No
you
way, man.
last
There's
week
a
about
new
your
class coming
negativity?
at the water park I saw, and I'm going to go. I wish you'd go, Joey. Flat water in the morning. They don't turn it on. You can bring your paddleboards out there, and I think it's more or less for kids, but we can still do it. And you do some flat water training on your paddleboard out there. I think that's pretty cool. They're finding uses for that place, and I'm glad about that.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Go Montgomery.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like everything's coming together now.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but
I think so. Well, the future looks bright.
The waters are receding.
Mm-hmm.
The clouds are parting. I see nothing but good things from Montgomery.
See, Sky and I are on the same page. Yeah. What's wrong with you?
He's leaving town.
Right.
He doesn't
Sorry,
care.
guys.
Yeah, he's already in Jamaica. He really
He's
look
got
at
one
the guy.
foot out the door if you look.
Like his shirt looks like a splashdown in the ocean.
I literally started packing, getting some stuff ready today.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because I've got a busy week and I don't want to miss nothing. And plus, it makes me feel good to pack for Jamaica.
And we're kicking around the idea of Eddie joining the show from Jamaica. Yeah. But I have a feeling as soon as you show up in Jamaica, you're like, I'm not going to do that.
No way, man.
Technical difficulties, Joe.
Oh, it'd be fun. I think it'll be fun.
Island vibe, but it'd be nice if you could.
I think it'll be fun. You guys can
drum in the background.
Maybe I can do it from the nude beach thing. There's a little bar at the nude beach.
Bring your camera and your drone.
Of course.
Don't want to miss that.
Actually, coming up here off top of the hour break, we have Andrew Szymanski running for city council. Look forward to that. I believe the seat that Clay McGinnis is giving up. But we'll talk to Andrew in just a moment after the top of the hour break. Y'all stay tuned. More news and views in the afternoon.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Parts of the U.S. continue to sizzle as July creeps towards setting a new record for the hottest month ever recorded. Phoenix led the way Sunday, hitting a 37 consecutive day of at least 110 degrees or more. Thunderstorms forecast in Phoenix for both today and Tuesday could offer some relief. Trucking company Yellow Corporation has shut down operations and is headed for a bankruptcy filing, according to the Teamsters Union and multiple media reports. After years of financial struggles, reports of Yellow preparing for bankruptcy emerged last week as the Nashville-based trucker saw customers leave in large numbers. Yellow shut down operations on Sunday. Stocks are mixed out. The Dow is up 13 points, but the NASDAQ has dropped 3. This is SRN News.
The recent bank failures are serving as a warning about how fragile our banking system really is. As millions of Americans panic, do you know what central banks are doing? Well, they're actually buying up gold at record levels. They're relying on it as a safe haven during these difficult times. That's how confident they are in the dollar. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, Christian author and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. We're all Americans who want to protect our family's savings no matter what. I tell people the best option is to diversify their 401k or IRA into physical gold or silver with the help of Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, just text the word faith to the number 989898 to get a free information kit on gold IRAs. Look, there's no strings attached. It's not going to hurt you to take action now. So take the first step today and educate yourself. Get your free info kit when you text faith to 989898 right now. And I pray you and your family are greatly blessed.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On this last day of July, temperatures are headed for the upper 90s again, but the difference is the humidity will be a little bit more bearable than the weekend. Today's high temperature up to about 97. There will be plenty of sunshine. I've got the rain chances at 20% or less today. Tonight, slowed down to about 74. Tomorrow, first day of August, lots of sunshine, high 98. Should be dry Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday's high around 96. Widely scattered storms returning Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At ASE Credit Union, financing your next adventure is easier than ever with rates as low as 5.25%. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASE.
From WAKA Channel 8, I'm Savannah Sabb. The Alabama Department of Corrections is still looking for inmate Kent Woods. He escaped from Mobile Community Work Center in Pritchard, Alabama. He is a black male. He's 36, 5'9", and weighs around 165 pounds. He was serving a 10-year prison sentence for robbery first degree. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 215-STAR. Plaintiffs in the high-profile congressional redistricting case filed a written objection late Friday to oppose Alabama's new redistricting plan. Civil rights groups want to throw out this new map of proposed congressional districts, saying state Republicans failed to follow federal court orders to create a district that's fair to black voters. A small child is dead after an accidental shooting in Prattville. Officers found the 7-year-old at the Covered Bridge Apartments on Sunday. Police determined the boy found a gun in the apartment that discharged and killed him. For more news, watch WAKA Channel 8 and ABC 32. I'm Savannah Sabb.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
This is Evan Bass from Montgomery Men's Health, and I've been helping men with low testosterone issues for over a decade. I've seen firsthand how low testosterone sneaks up on you, often so slowly that you just get used to all the issues that come along with being low T. If you're experiencing a low sex drive, if your energy just isn't what it used to be, if you're gaining unwanted fat or have issues with muscle gain in the gym, you very well may have low testosterone. At Montgomery Men's Health, we've successfully treated many men for low T, and the results can be life-changing. Many of our patients start putting on muscle again when they work out. They find they have more energy, they sleep better, and their sex lives often improve as well. So make an appointment today and see if low T therapy can make the difference for you. Your first appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult with testosterone lab results in minutes. Call 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And as promised, joining us now, he is running for city council, Andrew Szymanski. How are you, Andrew?
I'm doing real well. Really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, good to have you on the program here, and plenty to get to. But I always begin with this question, whether I'm interviewing somebody running for city council, mayor, senator, governor, whatever. Why do this to yourself?
There's a handful of reasons, but one of the main reasons is, I've been in Montgomery since 2010, and I love this city. This city has given me a lot of opportunity. I've taken the opportunity on my own to be involved in the community, to be invested in this community, opened up a small business, done some real estate work. Obviously, spent a lot of time down at the riverfront when I was running the Dragon Boat Festival. So, ever since I came to this Montgomery, to the city of Montgomery, I've been welcomed here. I'm excited about being here. And now, it's time to do that next thing, which is to not just ask for more, not just to complain about things, but actually put my name in the hat, be the change that I want to see.
And this is District 7?
District 7, yep.
And so describe for the folks out there listening, what are kind of the boundaries there?
Sure. So District 7, you got all the way down like the 85 corridor towards downtown, and then you've got you've got the Gretz neighborhood, Garden District, Cloverdale, Idlewild, which is where my house is. You've got the McGee Estates, Allendale, Myrtlewood area, all the way up towards Hillwood North, the Zelda retail corridor, so almost right to where we are here. And so it's a very densely populated neighborhood or district. It's one of the smallest districts of all the city council districts geographically, but also is a really unique district as well. It's got 3 out of the 5 historic districts that are here. We've got a lot of people that are longtime Montgomeryans and a lot of transplants and transients. Large populations from the military come to live in those neighborhoods. So it's an exciting neighborhood.
Absolutely. That's a heck of a district from what you're describing. And so given that sort of where you're going to be representing, what do you think are the top issues facing the city right now?
Sure. So obviously one of the things I hear the most about is crime. And we know all of the discussion points that have been going on, whether they be at the council meetings, in the papers, in the media. The number one thing that we have to figure out is how to make people feel safer in their neighborhoods and in their homes, whether that be investing in the resources that our police department needs to do their jobs, investing in 911 center to make sure that we have rapid response when calls come in, and then also making sure that we address this recruitment issue. It's been kind of polarized a little bit, and you've heard a lot of stuff on both sides. And hopefully, if I have the opportunity to be at council, we can talk about some real creative solutions to handling that problem, not just talking about, well, maybe it's a little bit more money here, a little bit more money here. Really looking at other cities that are tackling these issues and coming up with creative ideas to solve them, and then really kind of putting our heads down and doing the work to do that.
Is it just a quick follow-up? Do you have an example of sort of the creative solutions that are out there?
Yeah. One thing I've been looking at and seeing some other cities doing that I thought was really cool is really looking at housing incentives for first responders. So one thing you could do is partner with local banks and do something like a no down payment home loan for people that are willing to come work in one of those, whether it's fire, police, or 911, or some kind of like after time served down payment assistance program. Really get these people living in our neighborhoods and also kind of having a benefit that's makes us different than the cities around us.
When it came to my attention, just on the point you made, that the first responders, like your ambulance techs and like the fire department was having to pick up a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think statewide it's something like only 60% of what they were before the pandemic. So this is a massive issue I don't think everybody knows about.
Yeah, well, and it's not unique to Montgomery, but as the capital city, we need to be doing a better job addressing it, right? And so we have some opportunities, we have some abilities that other smaller cities and municipalities can't tap into that we would be able to tap into, and that's what we have to do. We have to put ourselves out there and try some new things, because obviously what's been done before isn't working as well as it should.
So crime being the top issue, 2 and 3 kind of going down the line.
Sure. So 2 is definitely addressing blight and cleanliness in our city. I get a lot of complaints from people about blighted neighborhoods, about not having enough teeth behind the ordinances that we have to address issues of blight. And then something that's kind of more of a passion for me is I'm a small business owner. I own a coffee shop and a bar up in the Cottage Hill neighborhood, and going through the process of doing that, the permitting, the inspection, the small business process. I tell people that Montgomery loves to say that we're the city that supports small business, but in practice, it's not something that we're doing well enough. And so that is a big focus area for me, is because I think if we had a dynamic and robust small business package, incentive program, a way to attract that would really help address some of the issues that we're seeing in the city, and also really help us regain some of the population that we've lost over the past 20 years.
Again, folks, we're talking to Andrew Szymanski. He is running for City Council District 7, and I've got to now ask the follow-up to that. I'm fascinated by, when did the small business idea come to you? Kind of, doesn't have to be a free plug, but tell me about it.
Sure. Well, in 2019, I was done with the Dragon Boat Festival, was kind of thinking about moving on to the next phase of whatever that was going to be in life. And I was looking at places that I might want to live, places that have good outdoor recreation opportunities, places that are safe, and then also places that have cool stuff for people to do, really high quality of life places. And I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was like, one of the things about Montgomery is that it is kind of in a blank slate kind of state right now. There is opportunity here. We have amazing real estate assets here in the city. And he said, instead of leaving, which is what so many of my friends and people my age group have done, he said, what if we stayed here and did some projects that would help bring people back to Montgomery? And so we started looking around. I love historic real estate, and so we found this wonderful strip of buildings up in the Cottage Hill neighborhood, purchased those in the beginning of 2020, and got to work, and now Hilltop Public House is open and thriving.
I need to introduce you to one of my former roommates, and I think working for the Historical Commission, but he would talk my ear off about, Joey, if you look at this grout line here about the downtown building, it's like, thanks. His name's also Andrew. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it. But no, I love that passion that's very clear coming from your voice, and we need more folks like you. How old are you?
I'm 37 years old.
37, so we're about the same age cohort, and we need more young folks taking those risks and doing that sort of thing, especially that part of the city. It's a good place to develop. So 1, crime, 2, kind of beautification, getting rid of blight, cleaning, picking things up is what would be number 3.
Yeah, that small business side of it was kind of my number 3. And really, cleaning and blight, but also just making sure that, we see people talking about whether it's trash pickup or public trash cans. I hear this from people a lot, and I feel it too, that Montgomery just feels a little different. You get off the Mulberry exit off of 85, and it just feels like there's just more trash in areas. Feels like the crime atmosphere is not what it used to be 5, 6, 7 years ago, and that's something that we have to change. But I do believe that is something that can be turned around, and we are at a really strategic time, I think, for Montgomery, where we sit at the nexus of 85 and 65. We have people post-COVID that now get to choose where they live, not based on where they work, and there are people getting priced out of the Atlantas, the Birminghams, the Nashvilles of the world, and they are looking for places, and you can own homes here, you can start up small businesses and have a side hustle like I do. You can do all these types of things here in Montgomery, Alabama.
Here. Now, just to give an example of some of the hurdles you face trying to set up and stand up that small business, what would be some, we don't have to go into all the details, but things you would want to change?
I'll give you a really tangible one. I have a full-time job. I work for a wonderful nonprofit organization that promotes recreational use of Alabama's fresh waterways called the Alabama Scenic River Trail. It's a standard 9 to 5, which is exactly the same time that the city does inspections here in Montgomery. We do inspections between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. And if I go and I take time off of work to get an inspection done, and I do not pass, that means that I have to then take more time off of work to be able to get that inspection done. So the idea that you would have this kind of side business, right, this side investment into bettering the city is already hampered by the fact that we don't do after 5 o'clock inspections or Saturday inspections. Also, if you just look at our kind of computer systems, I'm still filling out paper ARB applications. I love living in a historic neighborhood. I love having a business in a historic neighborhood. Paper applications, handwritten applications for something that important seems a little bit absurd to me. So I think some real meaningful investments into kind of the systems that the city operates off of. There's great people that work there at the city. I just think that they need to be better supported by their government to do their jobs more effectively.
And I have some more questions about topics and issues and just knowing the city. But if folks want to like what they're hearing already, want to donate to you, volunteer for you, how can they do so?
Yeah, well, so Szymanski is a long last name, so we shortened it up, made it real easy for people. It's Andrew S. for MGM7. That's the tagline for the Instagram, the tagline for Facebook as well, and that's my website. So www.andrewsformgm7.com. See all the issues that we have there, and then also opportunity to donate, support, put a yard sign out, come out and knock some doors with us. So.
People get all about those yard signs. Man, don't get me started.
Man.
I'll tell you, I was told about the yard sign battle and how competitive it is and how many I needed to have. And we've already had to reorder. And I appreciate that too, because it does show people that They are engaged, and as I said, 7 is a very, very active district. People care a lot about their neighborhoods and their communities there, which is wonderful, and I'm excited to hopefully represent them.
Again, folks, that's Andrew S. for MGM7, the numeral 7, Andrew S. for MGM7.com. Now, it sounds like the answer to this question is going to be yes, but what's your relationship like with maybe folks currently on the council, with the mayor, and like a lot of your career folks who work for the city, and relationships make these things work?
Sure. So, one of the things that's been great about my time here in Montgomery, running the Dragon Boat Festival, being involved in some of the strategic planning efforts that have been happening in downtown, is that I've gotten to actually interact with a lot of different people, great people at the city, whether it be some of the department heads or some of the career kind of people that have been in planning, land use, that type of thing, and have a good relationship with members of the council as well. Clay McInnes, who previously held the seat, is a good friend of mine and was kind of the catalyst for me kind of starting off on this journey, and he thought that my narrative and kind of the story that I was going to be able to tell would be something that would be powerful to bring to the council. And I just like people that are passionate about something like the city, the way the city's supposed to run, and so I'm looking forward to working with them.
Yeah, and I think we are at kind of a crossroads, that blank slate, like we were saying, and I'll be 35 in December, and for whatever reason, I haven't left, but you're right when you said everybody moves.
Yeah.
And how do we change that? And I see here on your website, you're talking about like big picture planning. Is that one way to do it, I guess?
It is. I mean, we have some wonderful projects that are in early infant stages. I'll give you a great example of one that I've helped out with, which is the River Region Trails Project, which is helping to create pedestrian infrastructure all across the city of Montgomery. If you look at cities like Atlanta and Birmingham and Nashville and Chattanooga and Greenville, one common thing that you're seeing in a lot of places is having pedestrian infrastructure that allows people to be connected to the things that they want to either invest in, spend their money in, like bars, restaurants, retail. Could be being able to walk and bike safely to work, or just to be outside. I mean, one thing that I think we learned during the whole COVID pandemic time is that people actually want to be able to be outside. They want to be able to walk to their neighbor's house. I live 7 minutes away from El Rey, and it's not exactly the safest thing to walk to, and that's a problem. I mean, I think people are always complaining about parking and stuff like that. Well, if we have to drive 3 minutes to go have dinner, that could easily be solved by better pedestrian infrastructure. I think that's great. We've seen some plans for increased investment and expansion of downtown. I'd love to see a lot more of that. I do think that Montgomery has an opportunity to look at some of the plans that they've been doing. I mean, heck, we had the 2020 to 2040 20-year strategic and vision Montgomery plan. You hardly see that referenced, and we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on that. We've got thousands and thousands of hours of community input from people about what they wanted to see for their city. And especially during, the discussions about how we were going to spend the ARPA funds, I very rarely saw that 250, 400-page booklet pulled out, which was a roadmap. I mean, literally the last page of that could have said, and if the federal government, by chance, gives you $86 million, this is how you're supposed to spend it. And so I do think that we have, we can dream bigger. I tell people all the time, I'm sick and tired of people saying that Montgomery doesn't deserve to have nice things like our neighbor cities do. We've got to stop looking like we can't be Mobile or Birmingham or Huntsville. We're the capital city of this state, and it's time for us to kind of change that mindset.
No, and this is kind of a curveball. I don't mean it that way, though. It's more a personal passion of mine. How do you feel about sort of this rising Bitcoin/cryptocurrency space, and maybe how a municipality could leverage that sort of rising new industry?
It's funny you say that. Clay McInnes and I talk about this every once in a while. And actually, for Christmas, my girlfriend and I went down to El Salvador, and it's the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as a national cryptocurrency. So I kid you not, you can actually use Bitcoin to buy coffee or gasoline when you're in that country. But anyway, I think new industries and new opportunities are things that we shouldn't be shying away from, and we should be working together to kind of understand how we can bring those in. I mean, that's a key component of this campaign, is to think creatively and to look at working models that are happening in other cities to change the way, kind of change our direction, to bring us, kind of the future. I don't mean to be too cliche, but, whether or not, crypto is something that we can really meaningfully use, I think it's something that we should look at and not be scared of trying out things that are maybe kind of cutting edge.
Well, and I imagine you're going to, like last week, I talked to Senator Tuberville, and he was saying very much how Montgomery needs more investment, especially compared to, say, Huntsville or to the port there in Mobile. And I'd imagine our now junior Senator Britt would be all about helping out Montgomery in that regard. So is there a role for sort of these like federal, state partnerships? Being the capital city, there's a unique thing there.
Totally. And you see that on some of the development projects that are happening, but we need a whole lot more. And we're watching as Birmingham, for example, is getting $22 million raise grants and Montgomery getting none. To seeing, as I talked about with the Trails Project, the Transportation Alternative Program, TAP, that's got $1 billion of federal funding that goes out at an 80-20 match rate. And we need to make sure that the city has and continues to do federal grants, to find different ways to really be in tune with what the federal government is offering municipalities. And I think, if we can do that, then we can definitely become more competitive. When that port opens up in Mobile, the amount of traffic that's going to be moving up 85 and 65 is going to be massive. And we should be prepared for that.
Right. I don't think we're prepared at all for that.
And we see this, and it is something, I give a lot of credit to anybody who's willing to get up there and be a city councilor. And I'm excited for the opportunity to join them. We have to do the homework. We have to be proactive, not reactionary, right? And we have to be prepared for these things. We have to think long term because time's not stopping. So we have to know what we're doing tomorrow, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. And like I said, we had a plan that told us what we were supposed to look like in 20 years. So.
Right. And so let's go to the phones real quick and go to Urbanite. Hey, Urbanite.
Yeah, how we doing? I'm trying to remember how many people are running in this district.
There are 5 of us.
Okay, I knew it was a big number. And what was your credential set again?
Your credential set, you said?
Yeah, where'd you go to school?
Well, I'm originally grew up in the Northeast, came down south in 2004, went to the University of Georgia. I don't say that out loud very often around here, but I went to the University of Georgia.
I like Athens. Athens is a good place to be.
It was the best 4.5 or slightly more years of my life. And then came to Montgomery in 2010. And I've been in Montgomery ever since and been living in District 7 the entire time that I've been here.
Okay, and having lived in Athens, you know what a great small town looks like.
I do.
Right, and now I know that Montgomery's not a great small town. Montgomery would be probably closer to your Macon out of Georgia than it is to Atlanta, although its roots go back as far as Atlanta's roots. I do have a question, though. You were talking about, did you talk about the Airbnbs that have propped up all over the place?
We had not talked about Airbnbs, but I do know that they are.
Okay, so what's your take on that, on regulation on the Airbnb?
Well, that's kind of a broad question, but I'm assuming we're just talking about, I hear this from people every once in a while, which is that there are people that are buying homes and properties and basically turning them to low-dollar Airbnb rentals that are not good neighbors of the neighborhood. So on a case-by-case basis, I definitely think that the city has a place for intervening when we've got bad landowners and bad landlords that are owning multiple of these properties. When Airbnb first propped up, it was something that we saw as a vibrant opportunity in this city, and it was giving people that owned multiple places of real estate, some people that had long-term rentals that they saw more financial benefit for getting into the Airbnb game because they were strategically placed near downtown and other places. Just like with homeowners of any kind, you have to make sure that you're holding landlords to the standards that we believe make our city better. I think broadly saying that Airbnb is good or bad kind of eliminates, kind of the details that actually can make Airbnb a good thing for the city of Montgomery.
And one other minor question that has a detail component to it. You were talking about buying or setting up real estate in historic neighborhoods. You are aware there is a problem right now with people stealing mortgages through the internet and stuff. So I'm wondering, what would you do from a security standpoint to make sure properties were locked down here in the city?
Well, selling mortgages on the internet, I hadn't heard that one yet, but I will say that, when we went through the process of acquiring our property up in Cottage Hill, we worked with a local bank, we worked with a local real estate attorney that helped us go through the whole process. And so, we've got over 2,000 realtors in the city of Montgomery that do a wonderful job of connecting people with residential and commercial property. And so those are the people that we really have to lean on to make sure that people are making positive investments in our city.
Okay.
Appreciate it, Urbanite.
See you overnight.
272-9228. Let's go to Miss Love real quick. Hey, Miss Love.
Hey, Miss Love.
Good morning to y'all.
Good morning.
Sure. I was born and raised in this city until I went to the military. But this city has become so include this one, exclude that one. And I don't like that. But hopefully on the 15th of August, you'll be at the city council. I plan on being there, God willing, because I want to speak about the fact that citizens who are not the person that the city council people want to hear is not seen and heard on television. And from my experience in traveling, that makes a big difference. It gets people that can't come to the city council a reason to come, some of them. Then it put ideas where that's a good idea, and they too can shine in. But citizens are denied. People who we pay taxes. From my understanding, we pay their salary, okay? But they get to pick who is seen and heard on that camera. They zoom people in here that's not citizens. They let people stand up at that podium that's not citizen, that does not pay taxes, because that's the person they agree with. It should not be like that. And hopefully enough people will come out and ask them to change this. What is your idea on that? Please, I'll hang up and I'll listen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Love.
Sure. Well, I mean, I tell everybody, supporting me, contributing to the campaign, it buys you two things: good government and accountability. And that's the most important thing that we have to have. We have to be listening to the needs of the citizens. Obviously, I think that there are some ways that we could tweak the process of city council meetings. I think they could be more open. One of the things that I've committed to is going live on our social media channels after every city council meeting, just to give people an idea of what was discussed, what was talked about, what kind of impacts certain things have. We've committed to having quarterly meetings in the district just so I can hear from citizens. Obviously, your government needs to be a representation of you, and as your next city councilor, I'd like to make sure that that's the case.
So, in a few quick ones here, and then we'll hit a break, let you get out of here. On the cities say where we're all fiscally, and like going forward, do you think we're at the right level, say, of taxation? Like the current revenue sources are putting us in a pretty good spot?
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens next year when the millage rate goes up and how that affects especially the county and the education side of things. But yes, I mean, we are moving, I think, in a positive direction. I just think that there needs to be some more adherence to the plans that the city has spent all this time investing in, that's kind of giving us some roadmaps of things that we need to do. And then really just we need to make sure that we're focusing on that the things that we're allocating resources for, whether, as I said, police, safety, crime, sanitation, those types of things, that we're actually fulfilling those. And if we're not, figuring out why and then reinvesting the money in a way that will help fill those kind of shortfalls. So as I said before, I'm very hopeful. I have plenty of frustrations about certain things, and I've been hearing from people. But District 7 is a really exciting place to be able to potentially represent, just because we have such an in-tune electorate.
Well, and not making a prediction about how the mayoral race is going to work out, but the incumbent and the person who is Mayor Stephen Reed. And two items that I think he brought before the council, and there was butting of heads. It was enough to get into the press. One is this non-discrimination council that expands, what discrimination means, what's protected, what's a protected class, and it creates this board where those complaints would be heard. What do you think of this idea?
So, and what's interesting about the last time that came through, I think it was a couple of years ago, and one thing that council, I believe, and the mayor could be doing better is the process by which these things are rolled out, right? That are getting full input from citizens, that we have good examples for why something is a good idea or a bad idea. There are non-discrimination ordinances in almost every city, right? And so from that standpoint, I do think that there is nothing wrong with trying to move that forward. But as I understood it, it was kind of dropped in at the last hour. There wasn't a lot of public debate. There weren't a lot of people that were able to give comment on it. And so it got voted down because council wasn't ready to move it, and then it got pulled. And I think that's one of the things that does frustrate people. Council, mayor's office, whatever, is that, agendas come out, we have a day and a half to prepare for meetings. It's not enough time for citizens to get in front of the city councilors. I think oftentimes stuff moves through council too fast before, and so I think I would like to, I'm not trying to be an obstructionist here, but I do think that it is important for city council to really understand, to do the homework that's necessary, to do the research that's necessary to make informed decisions about what's best for the city, because it's in the nuance. Now, I haven't seen that ordinance specifically. I've heard about it in principle, but it is in the detail that determines whether or not it's something that is a positive thing for a municipality. And it's not the same for every municipality.
Right.
Montgomery is different than its neighbors. It's different than cities in other states. We just have to make sure that we're being smart and accountable for the decisions we make.
And I imagine you'd have a similar answer to the other one that came up was the Citizen Review Board.
Citizen Review Board, yeah. And I've heard it from police officers on both sides of the issue, right? And I've heard from some of the counselors on both sides of the issue. And the real question you have to ask is something that obviously is having this kind of seismic reaction to it, is this something that we need to be divided on? Or does like good government should be compromise, understanding of the other side, some give and take, making sure that everybody is on board with that before it moves through council, and not throwing it away just because it doesn't go through the first time. We can refine, we can be smart about the way we govern the city. So on the face of it, again, there are, I've heard from police officers, I've heard from citizens on both sides of it. And I think that, council needs to take all that into account when they go to it.
Oh, and folks, if you go to his website, Andrew S. for MGM7.com, I think the top focus point is communication.
Yes, actually, real quick. We put out a poll in the district a little whiles back, and what came back it was an issues poll, and ahead of crime was communication and transparency from City Hall. So people want to be informed, they want to be involved, and that tells me that people don't feel that way, and we're hoping to change that on August 22nd. Because I do think that is critical for all of these types of topics like you just brought up, is that people want to make sure their voice is heard, they understand exactly what it is their government's doing, and we're gonna make that change.
Well, Andrew, it was a great meeting.
Thank you.
And great talking to you.
Yeah.
And again, if folks want to volunteer, donate money, how can they do so?
Andrew S. For MGM7.com. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. I'm doing coffee with the candidate up at my coffee shop every Thursday, 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. You can come meet, come have a chat. A cup of coffee. So, we're just really excited. We're getting out there, door knocking, doing all the things. Really, really looking forward to August 22nd.
Well, I appreciate your time. And if y'all want to come back, come on.
Would love
Open
to.
door.
Thank you.
Well, y'all stay tuned. More news and views after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. If you've ever considered owning rental property, this information is for you. For years, I've been finding attractive investment homes for real estate investors to buy with the intention of renting the property for many years to come. Owning rental property and letting tenants pay the expenses of owning through rental payments to a management company such as ours is what we do very well. We have successfully managed thousands of homes for property owners over the years. Our typical tenant stays 3 to 5 years or longer in the same property, and some have stayed over a decade in the same home. During this time, the landlord is building equity and wealth and is providing reasonably priced homes that are well cared for and provided needed shelter and homes to good people. Loyal clients and wonderful tenants that know how to take care of the property both inside and out helps everyone. For a complete packet of what we do, please call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
Okay, what was that?
I'm not sure. Electricity. It can be a little scary. Fortunately, the folks at Crosby Electric are experts, providing complete electrical services and keeping River Region homes and businesses safe since 1967.
I hate lightning.
Crosby Electric offers whole house surge protection to protect you and your possessions.
What I hate is being without electricity.
You never have to be. Crosby is an authorized generator dealer, sales, installation, and service.
Okay, our yard is dark.
Crosby does landscaping lighting for beauty and safety, as well as security lighting for all of your property.
Am I crazy, or did that light just flicker?
I'd say both.
And Crosby offers unique technology that pinpoints electrical problems even inside your walls.
Good night, honey.
Good night.
Sleep well tonight with no electrical worries. Visit CrosbyElectric.com or call 272-2085. That's 272-2085.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Sky Mosley had to leave. Our guests had to leave, but Eddie Bader is still here.
I'm here with you, buddy.
You doing all right?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I like that guy.
Oh, me too.
I'm not in that district, but I like that guy.
No. That's the thing, though. I've noticed some of the people that are in other districts of Montgomery, I really like them. We've got some good opportunities here. We just got to put the right people in place.
Well, I'm pretty happy with my guy, Ed Grimes.
Oh, Ed Grimes is the bomb.
Yeah, but I think he would be a great addition to, I'm not outright endorsing. I'm just saying I've been impressed by a lot of the candidates that have stopped by, and it's great to see somebody that young, who's that driven with entrepreneurial
he's vested,
kind of
he's
passion.
locally vested in
like
here in
a
Montgomery, so I like
Been
it.
here, he said, since 2010. Yeah.
And a business owner here in Montgomery.
Right. And the fact that he's gone through the process, he's seen how it can be so hairy for a business owner, so to speak.
Preach, brother, preach.
What did you think about it would take more time getting into the play and the joints and the nuance of it, but with the Airbnb issue.
Yeah.
Because I've seen stuff come out of Lake Tahoe. Sorry, I can't say Lake Tahoe normally. It just comes out. We're on a Tahoe later, and we're going to go jet skiing. No, but like Lake Tahoe and some of these big, expensive vacation places, they completely just shut down Airbnb because they're undercutting real estate values in neighborhoods, and people are upset about that.
I've seen it here in Montgomery, but in Montgomery, I kind of like them for several reasons. One, I'll be very honest, I sell them. But for two, there's a lot of old buildings and a lot of old real estate in Montgomery. If they were not Airbnbs, they would be dilapidated buildings. And it gives people, I've got one we're coming on the market with. It gives people a reason and a dream to take these old buildings and make them into something.
Well, and I like his case by case, and I guess the way it would go is you create a certain standard, and things like noise violations, all sorts of violations that could tick up to be all right, you can't keep doing that.
Sure, and I'm sure there are some issues. I don't know of any particular ones.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I don't know either.
And I'm sure, towards the beach and that kind of thing, you're going to get that. But most people I know here in Montgomery that have them, and I know several, they enjoy them. They generally don't have problems out of them. I do know one that kind of had a surprise party thrown at theirs, and they took care of it. But when hotel rates, occupancy rates were at 100%, and people were having to go out of town, I mean, that's just demand.
Yeah.
So bring on the Airbnbs.
Let's see who's on line one. You're on the air. Who's this?
Afternoon, it's Ole Miss.
Hey, Ole Miss, how you doing?
Got a question. It's not really on topic, but I listened to a show when they announced it 2 weeks ago, but I hadn't heard anything else. The White House, I'm not going to go into everything, but the show I watched, they're December 2023 are switching to a cyber currency. Have you heard that yet?
I've only heard that they started up that FedNow program, which a lot of people think is the pilot program for a central bank digital currency.
Right.
I think here's how I parse it out, Ole Miss. I'm a big believer in the idea of, let's say, a Bitcoin standard.
Right.
No one person can control it. I would be very hesitant about a central bank digital currency. They could control
Let me ask
so much.
you this, though.
Okay.
This is, I listened to it for about 45 minutes. From what I understand, there's 7 or 9 Federal Reserve banks in Kansas. They print it. In New York, they do the digital. They're closing all of them but New York, and it's going to do all the digital. The Biden administration wants everybody to go cyber by December 2023, and there's all kind of questions about, well, who's in charge of it, and it's going to be the Biden administration, New York bank, basically the FTC up there. But the question I have is, how can they do it so quick? And you were talking about nobody can control it. If they've printed all the paper they've got in stock now, they didn't want to do it, but now that they've ruined the oil dollar, and now it's the oil yen, all of a sudden they don't want paper, they want digital. Wonder why? I mean, our dollar's not going to be worth anything in, say, 6 to 9 months. But my question is, how can they do it so quick? And how do I, being in business, go get a $10,000 check on Friday and pay my people when what the people were talking about was all computers submitted 1 week, paid within 30 days, and then it's got to go back to the business and then back to the government to pay your people. So that's what they were talking about. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not.
Not about the deadline there. Here's what I'm thinking is happening. This is a very high-stakes game. The Biden administration, I think, would prefer something like a central bank digital currency. Could be what they're saying going digital is actually more a Fed kind of clearinghouse system.
Okay.
It's not quite what you would call like USD coin. It wouldn't be full-on central bank digital currency, but it would be the start. It's kind of the camel's nose under the tent, so to speak. I would not be for that. And what you're seeing here is a fight between regulators, like the Securities and Exchange Commission, or you've got others that are saying, no, treat it more like a commodity. And so I think what the White House is doing is just pushing forward reforms at the administrative state. And then I think you're going to see Congress and other parts of the administrative state push back. But it's an interesting time because we're hitting that point of what is this new invention that was invented over 10 years ago actually going to do for us? And I would bank with Bitcoin. That would be what I want to go to because nobody controls that.
Right.
If you go to what China's already doing, what it seems some in the federal government want to do, I think it would be a massive tool of surveillance and control.
Sure.
And we should not go there. How are they doing it so fast? It's like anything else. They, flick of the pen, and
They got all their buddies on the inside, too.
and so what you need is the Congress or some other regulator to kind of fight back there.
So when they ruin the economy of America because nobody can pay bills and nobody can get paid, it's one of those deals where they get what they want through, us submitting to them.
Yes.
If we don't submit to them, what are we going to do? I mean, I got to pay my bills, so do you. If
Right.
they say, well, there's no more paper dollar, the banks won't be, I got no idea what the heck they're going to do.
Well, and this is why, for instance, RFK Jr. got my attention. I think it was 2-3 weeks ago. He said, I want to remove all capital gains taxes off Bitcoin, USD to
Right.
Bitcoin transfers, get rid of all sorts of money lending fees and whatnot, like make Bitcoin essentially a currency. And I think that's the ideal system where you let the market decide what's the unit of account going to be. Is it gold? Is it Bitcoin? Or is it something the government's backing? I think that's the best way to go.
You're talking about somebody who is for America and wants America to succeed. You got to
Right.
remember, when they install their new government, because I don't believe we elected one in the last 2 cycles, it won't be anybody we want in there, and they haven't listened to anybody, other than themselves. If you don't include the Trump years, going on 10 years now?
Right.
They've done the fundamental change of America the way they want to and screw everybody else. What can we do since other than Tommy Tuberville, most of our congressmen are spineless. What can we do? I mean, if they come out and say dollars ain't accepted no more, it's either going to be digital currency or you starve to death. You got to remember, China 2 years ago last May seized all of the Communist Bank of China's personal accounts and said, well, these you must be invested in the Communist Party. And to this day, they haven't given any of the money back. And bizarre for the banks on Biden, the first thing he said was, that's a good way to do it. So, I mean, I'm kind of gun shy, but I don't know what else to do. That's why I want to call and, get a perspective. And I appreciate your perspective, Joy, but you're talking like somebody who abides laws and abides the Constitution, and does things by our way of law and government. This installed socialist, communist Yahoo up there right now has, every time they tell him no, he says, you, and he goes ahead and does it. I mean, look at how many times he tried to pay off the debt to the lazy people who went to college and they never got a job.
Right, but I hear where you're coming from, Ole Miss. But I still have hope that there are going to be people in politics and outside of politics that will kind of show the way. And I think it's our role as everyday people sort of to look out for those folks and support them when they rise up. And I think that is going to happen. I just don't buy that everybody's going to take it laying down. There's too much at stake.
I hope not.
But great call. Really great call. Thank you, sir.
All right, you take care.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by, XI Repair. And they're at XI Repair, Jonathan Strange and his team. Well, they're ready to help you with any of those smartphone repairs. Could be something as simple as a cracked screen, shattered screen. You don't have to live that way, getting a paper. How'd you get that paper cut, bro? Oh, with my phone. Okay. You don't know about XI Repair, obviously. Maybe you dropped that phone in the toilet or the pool or the lake or the beach or something. You got this water damage. Phone's acting all funky now. XI Repair can fix it. They can clean out a dirty connector port. If that makes any sense.
They can replace your speaker if you can't hear anymore.
They can replace a battery if you're not holding a charge, but for a few hours.
Yep.
They can do all of that there at XI Repair. They can also help you out with desktop, laptop, computer repairs, top-end gaming consoles. Yes, they can work on a PlayStation 5. You don't have to send it off to Sony. XI Repair can fix it. And, of course, they also do data recovery. So maybe you want to recover a project you accidentally deleted or some old, information off an old hard drive. Or it could be you're in the middle of a litigation, like a divorce or a bad business deal, and you need to recover texts or emails that somebody tried to delete because they're a bit incriminating. XI Repair will have your lawyer contact them for that.
That's right.
I'll check them out today. You can always go to xirepair.com. That's the letter X, the letter I, repair.com. Or give them a call at 777-1234. And be sure to tell those fine folks there at XI Repair that Joey and Eddie from News and Views sent you. How about we hit a break?
Okay. Got a couple calls lined up.
Come back to, we got 3 or 4 folks.
Yeah.
I like it. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Are we loco at Marguerite's? Hell yeah. Yes, we are. We've lost our mind at Marguerite's. We're doing polish, rhodium, and inspection of rings only, till August 5th for no charge. Now, everyone else charges $150 to $300. We charge $65 to $100. But forget about that. Bring in up to 5 rings. Doesn't matter if they're from Marguerite's, not. Doesn't matter if you ever shopped at Marguerite's or not. It's real quiet. There's no small print on this. Just trying to create a little traffic at Marguerite's. Till August 5th. Bring in your old rings. Let us make them look like new.
This is Evan Bass for Montgomery Men's Health, and I've been helping men with low testosterone issues for over a decade. I've seen firsthand how low testosterone sneaks up on you, often so slowly that you just get used to all the issues that come along with being low T. If you're experiencing a low sex drive, if your energy just isn't what it used to be, if you're gaining unwanted fat or have issues with muscle gain in the gym, you very well may have low testosterone. At Montgomery Men's Health, we've successfully treated many men for low T, and the results can be life-changing. Many of our patients start putting on muscle again when they work out. They find they have more energy, they sleep better, and their sex lives often improve as well. So make an appointment today and see if low T therapy can make the difference for you. Your first appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult with testosterone lab results in minutes. Call 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. 440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com.
Are we loco at Marguerite's? Oh, yeah. Yes, we are. We've lost our mind at Marguerite's. We're doing polish, rhodium, and inspection of rings only, till August 5th for no charge. Now, everyone else charges $150 to $300. We charge $65 to $100. But forget about that. Bring in up to 5 rings. Doesn't matter if they're from Marguerite's or not. Doesn't matter if you ever shopped at Marguerite's or not. It's real quiet. There's no small print on this. Just trying to create a little traffic at Marguerite's till August 5th. Bring in your old rings. Let us make them look like new.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On this last day of July, temperatures are headed for the upper 90s again, but the difference is the humidity will be a little bit more bearable than the weekend. Today's high temperature up to about 97. There will be plenty of sunshine. I've got the rain chances at 20% or less today. Tonight, slowed down to about 74. Tomorrow, first day of August, lots of sunshine, high 98. Should be dry Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday's high around 96. Widely scattered storms returning Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house with me.
house.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Bo?
I'm doing all right. And we have on the line Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how are you this Monday afternoon?
I'm doing great, Joey. How are y'all?
Doing quite well. Tell us about let's talk about audio solutions. If somebody really wants to step up their audio game, whether it's to entertain folks at a party or to make a movie setup really come alive, what do you have there?
Well, we have a huge selection of regular speakers. To me, a regular speaker is like a bookshelf speaker or a floor standing speaker. Jokingly, we could call them big and ugly. We also have some of the small, cute units that can be hidden up, surface mounted to a wall in the corner of your room. We have sound bars, we have LCR bars, we have in-ceiling, in-wall, we have in-wall subwoofers, the regular conventional type subwoofer. So depending on whatever your decor is, typically we can find something that fits and makes everybody happy.
There you go. And any sort of technical proficiency as well, because you have that great installation team.
Well, that's right. There's a lot of good stuff that we've seen that's been installed improperly. And if you don't install it right, you can't expect it to perform to the best way that it can.
Well,
so
and
you're not really getting what you pay for.
Well, and for folks who don't know, some of the sound bars, that's all you need. It really feels like that. Isn't this right, Michael? Like with just one sound bar, it sounds like it's wrapping around you, still giving you that surround effect.
Well, Sonos has been pretty unique. The way their sound bar works, it does fill the room much better. And the cool thing about Sonos is, while they have smaller subwoofers, you can actually have 2 subs in one room. So you can do that. You can do a really nice set of rear speakers, and you can fill your room with sound and is virtually wireless.
Wow.
I like that.
Well, that's a heck of a
Yeah.
thing right
Wireless
there.
factor.
So y'all check out Cohen's Electronics and Appliances today. You can always go to thinkcohens.com or give them a call at 277-8890. And you're still there on the boulevard?
Yes, sir. 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. Just come by and see us and let us help you make the right decision.
Well, I always appreciate the time, Michael.
Thank y'all. Have a great day.
You too, Michael. Take care.
Again, that's Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Well, it looks like, I'm guessing this is the Publix around Pike Road, but somebody getting airlifted.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, got a photo sent to me of a helicopter low to the ground out
Just
there.
got a reel of a house on Lake Martin on fire.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Let's go to Bob real quick. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing, Bob?
How you doing?
Hey, listen, I'm talking, futuristic. I don't know how long in the future, the way things are moving. But, you're talking about money and economics and all that. I read daily how the administration is trying to wipe out people being able to afford utilities or anything else. It's just crazy. Homes, gas appliances. They're attacking us on every side to ruin our economy because in the future, they've got to ruin the economy. They've got to create people wanting peace from all wars to get that one world government that's coming. So it's got to be just destroyed what we have just about before we could accept the one world government. And gentlemen, it's on its way. Y'all have a great day.
You too, Bob.
On
Hard
its
to argue
way.
with that.
Hard to argue with that, indeed. Let's go to Cranky on line one. Hey, Cranky.
What up, Cranky?
I couldn't agree with the previous caller more, and I just don't know why you keep bringing Eddie back on the air after he abandoned you and just goes and does whatever as he pleases.
I
He's
inherited
like
from
the
my
easiest boss in
mother.
the
I'm
world.
just hopelessly devoted. Or isn't that a Grease song? I don't know.
Yeah, I believe that's
Was your
Olivia
mom
Newton-John.
Olivia Newton-John?
No.
She was more beautiful than Olivia Newton-John. Anyhow, the previous caller was spot on, and if you remember, the great President Obong Holio said electricity rates must skyrocket. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, necessarily so.
Necessarily. Didn't say why, but necessarily so. And that's exactly, and you know what? Thank God we have Alabama Power and Twinkle, Twinkle, Tinkle, Andrus Kavanaugh. I wonder if she ever got a driver's license yet. Thank God we have those people making sure that Obama's decree comes true, because Alabama Power has got some of the highest rates in the U.S.,
Yes, they
including
do.
California.
Yes, they do.
So that's a fact.
Yep.
Well, maybe they can let it down with that nuclear plant that was just
Not
finished
gonna
in
happen.
Georgia.
It only goes up, brother.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Anyhow, I know you guys have been talking about very benign and esoteric subjects today, like the national security, the national economy, and things that just really don't matter, at least to the idiot in the White House. You missed, unless I missed it when I was out of the car just a minute today, you missed a leading headline today.
What's that?
The great-grand nephew of John Wilkes Booth has passed away today at age 70.
Pee Wee Herman?
Paul Rubens, otherwise known as Pee Wee Herman.
Yep.
Eddie was
He
just
is
telling me
one of-
about that off air. We'll get into it in top
I
of the
didn't know
hour.
that he was descendant of that, though.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Well,
either.
he is. See, John Wilkes Booth shot a guy in the back of the head at the Ford Theater.
Right.
Pee Wee Herman shot a guy in the back of the head at the Foreign Theater. So there you go.
And on that wholesome note, appreciate it, Cranky.
Y'all have a great week.
See you, Cranky. Should have saw that one coming.
Yeah, but that's what that guy said.
No.
This part of the program, in fact, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. Aren't Kim and Madeline just fantastic?
Some of the best people I know, Joey.
They really do great work for first-time home buyers, especially first-time home buyers. If you want some folks that you can trust, that'll walk with you hand in hand from pre-approval all the way to closing day. I mean, you're talking things like appraisals, inspections.
Yeah, man.
They can help you even with the negotiating side of things. In fact, getting pre-approved really helps you
That's
with
a
that.
big help right there.
Right. You actually know how much house you can afford.
Right. And the people you're buying it from also know that you are a certified buyer, where you have been vetted. They know that they're not just playing around.
Right, and actually when you say, hey, who's the broker? Alabama Home Mortgage, it
Much
just
better.
inspires confidence
That's a local
across
lender.
the board. Exactly. They're great local folks you can actually sit down with. They'll actually get to know you, your financial situation, the goals of buying a home, or maybe you're looking to refinance that current mortgage, especially if you have equity built up. It's a great way to consolidate a bunch of different debts or to just get that credit card debt off your back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, interest rates are higher in the mortgage market as they're trying to fight inflation nationwide.
But they're not near as bad as credit cards, Joey.
Yeah, better to pay 8, 9, even 10% on a mortgage than it is 15, 20, 25. I saw
Right.
one that came in the mail. It was, I think, 30 something.
Ooh, sign
APR.
me up, Joey. Sign me up.
Like, what in the world is this?
Yeah.
So y'all check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. You can always call them at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. You can also visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Final hour coming up. Yeah, we got to talk about passing away of
Yeah, I
Pee Wee
know,
Herman,
Pee-wee.
man. What a shame.
No. Apparently he was battling cancer. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We'll be back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Crews battling fire whirls in California's Mojave National Preserve this weekend as a massive wildfire crossed into Nevada amid dangerously high temperatures and raging winds. The York Fire has been mapped at roughly 120 square miles with no containment. The blaze erupted Friday near the remote Carruthers Canyon area. A woman from New Hampshire who works from a nonprofit organization in Haiti and her young daughter have been reported as kidnapped in Port-au-Prince. Kidnappings often involve ransom negotiations in Haiti. In Melbourne, Australia, Canada eliminated by Australia 4-0 in a Women's World Cup group stage finale. The USA women's team plays Portugal on Tuesday. The Dow is ahead 16 points, but the S&P 500 is down 2. This is SRN News.
The government is spying on you. No surprise, I know. But did you know the banks are helping them? And did you know that withdrawing your cash from the bank can be very risky? That's right. Let Swiss America educate you about this. Banks are now required to spy on us for the government, and they report any behavior they think is suspicious. You'll be shocked when you read The Secret War on Cash from Swiss America. This new war against cash is really a war against the Constitution, against all freedom-loving Americans. You must read The Secret War on Cash. Get your free copy by calling or texting 800-266-6082. That's 800-266-6082. This war on cash is growing daily, and it also includes all forms of digital money. So please get and read The Secret War on Cash free by calling or texting right now at 800-266-6082. That's 800-266-6082. Message and data rates may apply.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On this last day of July, temperatures are headed for the upper 90s again, but the difference is the humidity will be a little bit more bearable than the weekend. Today's high temperature up to about 97. There will be plenty of sunshine. I've got the rain chances at 20% or less today. Tonight, slow down to about 74. Tomorrow, first day of August, lots of sunshine, high 98. Should be dry Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday's high around 96. Widely scattered storms returning Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall has gone on national news over the weekend regarding the Carly Russell case out of Hoover. Marshall told Fox News that even though there was no actual kidnapping, this was not a victimless crime.
Yeah, I think there's actual cost and there's societal cost, and this is not a victimless crime. Clearly, the city of Hoover, through their police department as well as surrounding law enforcement agencies, expended significant resources to try to make sure that we could locate not only Carly Russell, but don't forget the allegation involved an infant on the side of a busy highway. You had countless individuals come out late, early, in the heat in Alabama, looking for both of these individuals. And one thing that I don't want to see from this is people become jaded in their response to times where their help is necessary.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
The Mobile County Sheriff's Office confirms that a former priest who was recently defrocked by the Mobile Archdiocese is currently in the country of Italy. Alex Crow is not alone. He traveled to Italy with a young woman. That woman told Mobile Sheriff Paul Birch that she traveled of her own free will with Crow and that there is no romantic relationship going on there. Birch says that after an investigation into the situation, there does not appear to be any criminal charges to be issued against Crow. A child has died by gunfire at an apartment complex in Prattville. Investigators say the 7-year-old boy was handling the gun himself when the firearm discharged. An investigation into the case is underway. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house.
In the house.
How you doing, Eddie?
I'm pretty good, man.
And you look
Pretty good.
Look at the stream. Don't you look so much better now?
I guess so. I know. Yeah, I'm covering up some of that face.
Yeah, I like those glasses,
You like these? I
man.
stole these from my old lady. You can't tell, can you?
No, are those ladies' glasses?
They probably are. I think every pair of glasses I have are ladies' glasses.
Here, let me put on some of these cheap ones right
There you go.
here. All right, we're doing the show, and let's go to Thunder. Hey, Thunder.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Some interesting conversations going on there,
Quite a few, yeah.
especially that one regarding Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah, I think the future, the conversation of what is money and who controls it is going to come back, that topic, with a vengeance, like it's, the late 1800s with William Jennings Bryan.
Well, I will invite everybody who's never watched the movie Hunger Games to watch it.
Interesting.
Especially the one scene where Katniss goes to get the little Mockingjay pin. And remember that your government can look just like that. And they can look just like that very quickly. The aspect that Washington is now putting forth that not only are our gas stoves bad, now they want to take away our gas water heaters.
Yeah.
My gas bill last month was $27. I have a hot water heater and I have a gas stove.
Mm-hmm.
my electric bill would be a whole lot more than that $27.
Yes,
I can
it would
assure
be.
you.
You're right.
What will happen when we're already facing electrical problems, especially in these areas that are hot, where the city is telling them, oh, don't run your air conditioner during the middle of the day.
Right.
You can't run your air conditioner more than at a certain temperature level. You need to expect brownout. What's going to happen with all those electrical cars that no longer have a charge?
Yeah, left on the side of the road. But
Yeah.
that's what I can't help but think, Thunder. That's what
It's
our leadership wants. They want us all to just be completely broken to the point of, okay, now we are bound and determined to be, slaves of the government. Please let me eat. Please give me gas so I can heat my house. I think that's what they want.
For those out there who think that I'm a nut job and that all I do is rant and rave about whatever, they need to stop and realize just exactly what this government is doing, and they better open their eyes and look at the reality of what Washington wants to do to all of us. Because if they think, oh, she's a nut job, they're going to hit her hard. If he or anyone else thinks that I am the only one that will be hit, think again. It will be everyone. It will be ugly. I'm sorry, I have no intentions of playing the Bitcoin game. I feel bad enough playing the credit card game. And I pay my credit cards off every month. Because I don't see it's anybody's business what I buy and when. None of anybody's business.
I agree with you
And
100%.
when you allow Bitcoin to walk into your life and to be the coin of the realm, then you have given someone else the authority to control everything you do.
I don't think that's so much with the Bitcoin, but with the Fed coin, definitely. With the Bitcoin, it's to me no different than a bank. It's my money, and as long as they're not standing my way of spending it, so be it.
Right, and they can't create it out of thin air.
Right, and it's not tied to some political BS. But the Fed coin, I want nothing to do with.
Well, I don't want anything to do with either one of them. I want to be able to touch my coin every now and then.
Amen.
Oh, I can't argue with that. I appreciate it, Thunder.
Thank you much. Y'all take care.
You too.
272-9228. Did you see what Eric was saying? That what is he saying?
I know.
I look like Tony Stark.
I know Tony, or not Tony, but Sam said you needed a gold chain. I thought that kind of same thing. Big fat gold chain across there. I started to wear mine today, but Susanna reminded me it turned brown.
Well, and plus we don't want to bring up memories of the bad times when you were Eduardo Baderes.
Those are good times.
Those are y'all know those Parks and Rec episodes where Ron Swanson has that woman come back into his life.
Yeah,
that's Eduardo Baderes right there.
Those were good times.
He just
man.
gets out of control, completely out of control. This part of the program brought to you by New Look Decorating Center. Ooh, or Robert Downey Jr. in The Fugitive. He was in The Fugitive.
I don't remember him in The Fugitive.
Anyway, New Look Decorating Center. They can help you with any of these paint and stain supply needs. Of course, they offer only the highest quality Benjamin Moore
That's right.
paint and stain supplies. It could be you're doing it yourself. Well, they can give you tips and tricks so you can do that project the right way the first time. Or if you're looking to contract out the job, maybe you already got a painter or a contractor in mind.
I think you should ask him something.
The first question number one you need to ask, do you buy your paint at New Look? It's a great test of, well, how good they are. Now, maybe you don't have somebody in mind. They can advise you on who to hire there at New Look Decorating Center. They know all the painters, all the contractors in town. And, of course, they can also help you with, like, wallpaper and fabric selections.
Oh, I didn't even think
if you
about
want to hear about New Look Decorating's wallpaper selection, go see Katie.
Okay.
Go ask for Katie. And they've got a whole team of paint specialists there, from Jordan to the manager Brett Lanham to the owner Brian Carr. They really know what they're talking about there at New Look Decorating Center. And they've been supporting the local community for over 40 years. 40 years in business here in the River region. And when you buy from them, you buy that Benjamin Moore product, you're helping the larger Alabama economy. One of Benjamin Moore's largest plants is right here in Alabama, in Pell City, Alabama. It really is just across the board. Great product, great service, and you're helping local folks, well, help each other. So check them out today. You can always call New Look Decorating at 271-0007 or just go by newlookdecoratingcenter.com. But I really encourage you to stop by their showroom. That's 6237 Atlanta Highway, right here in Montgomery, where Bell Road dead ends to Atlanta Highway. You'll see it in all its glory. Benjamin Moore's New Look Decorating Center. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about him here on News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go to Randall. Hey, Randall.
What's up, Randall?
What's up, fella?
How you doing, man?
On that topic, the one that everybody's been starting to see where we headed to, and is this the fact that we can't stop it? You know what I mean? And there ain't no stopping it. And if you want to know how they're going to usher in the one world government, they already agreed with us for it, is because of extraterrestrial, baby. And you know what I mean? And America come out with it first, so we're going to be the saving grace of the world. We're all going to get along. America's going to know what to do when they do Project Blue Beam and they fake the alien invasion. And that's how they're going to usher it in. But before then, you're right, we're going to collapse big time. But we're going to all be singing Kumbaya, and America's going to save the world once again. And then that's how it all lines back up.
And what is this called? Project Blue Beam?
Yeah, the Abrahamic house has already been built. It's in Saudi Arabia. That's where you do religion's going to come from. The Pope's done signed the thing. Everything's in play that you can't stop it. And the kind of... even the child trafficking, they put this stuff in your face. That's part of their thing. If they don't, to get away with it, they got to show you what they're doing and get away with it to actually be in the clique. We can go way deep in this, but they have to show you what they're doing to get away with it. The evil part of this, and they've been doing it their whole life, and we just now picking up on bits and pieces, and people starting to read between the lines. But 8 years ago, we could have stopped this. Ain't no stopping it now. Everything's in place, and in July, they used July for a reason to put all this stuff in place, because that's when America's supposed to be, in 1776. Well, in July, they dropped Fed Now, which that's what everybody's talking about. But I've been telling you about this for a bunch of months. The Fed Now hooked the banks up. Once the banks collapse, Fed Now is going to guarantee payment on both ends. And so, yeah, of course we're going to all get on it, because you ain't going to, like the man saying, you better pay your bills. You're going to have to join it. You're going to have to, and you'll put as much money as you want, and they're going to guarantee your money to be safe. So why wouldn't you put it there? You know what I mean? It's going to be a safety net for America, and everybody's going to fall in love with it. And, it's the same scenario everywhere we go. After the Fed Now, once it's in place, and then they crashed that part, the Bitcoin thing, you know so much more about it, Joy. How does that work with blockchain? Is that one way that true Americans can get around this, or you think blockchain with the cryptocurrency is going to end up connected? Before I say, when they was talking about y'all, this is the other part we need you to look up, because this is why Ukraine is they ushering this in too. It's called DIIA app. It's going to hook all governments together. That's the app they're going to use to hook all. That's how you'll get your taxes done. That's how you'll get your any kind of, if you're on disability, all that is going to come through DIIA app. And it's ushering in Ukraine right now. And they're using it because they feel like they have to. It's their safety net. And that's the same thing that's going to come up. They give you a way to be safe. And, man, we just you got to be careful with these new apps. They, it's connecting and everything. But what I'm saying with them apps, Joy, out there, with it being digital, how does blockchain and cryptocurrency separate themselves from something that's hooked up like that?
Well, there are a lot of different ways to go about it, but the reason Bitcoin seems to work is, well, number one, it is fully transparent. If I send money to Eddie, Eddie sends money to you.
Yep.
Those transactions to those particular address numbers are all on the public ledger. But the reason Bitcoin's so valuable is the public ledger isn't held by one person or company or institution in particular, or country even. That actually everybody, when you hook up to the Bitcoin network, whether you're just trading or you're mining, you're actually hooking into a ledger that's stored on your computer and stored all over the place. And the ingenious way it works is through what they call proof of work. It keeps the ledger honest. Nobody's able to cook the books. There are other cryptos out there where the people actually in charge of the protocol could create, say it's WorldCoin. They could create a bunch of new WorldCoin out of thin air. That doesn't happen with the Bitcoin process. You actually have to do the work and mine it. And so I think Bitcoin, it's going to be almost something like a digital gold. It'll be essentially a payment of final settlement, to where, if you're settling big money, you're going to do it in Bitcoin.
Right.
And then it'll be a great, store of value. It has advantages over gold because it can actually move across time very well, like gold, keep its value, but it could also move across space very well. It's very cheap to send it back and forth, whereas sending gold back and forth was really expensive. So they went to paper notes. Well, now Bitcoin is an improvement on the fiat paper note system because you can't just create it out of thin air. It's actually sound money. And it's not so much Bitcoin itself that the average person's got to look at. I think what's being built up right now from the likes of Elon Musk and even Jack Dorsey's working on this is how do you make it accessible to the everyday person, but it is still an independent financial payment network that is not controlled by any government in particular. Now, I think that's the ideal where we would go, where you would have, this is how you had with the gold standard, a one global standard of currency that can't be manipulated politically for political ends, whether it's we want to go to war and we don't want to raise taxes, or we want to do this big welfare state, but we don't want to raise taxes. Now, you can't do that crap anymore. I think it would get us on a much sounder economic footing and get us back to a dynamic economy with growth like we hadn't seen in generations.
All right, two more things. Do you think that since everybody is so scared of the government, this be a good time for the guy who started the Bitcoin, which I can't say it,
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Do you think it's a good time for him to take the mask off and let it be seen? Look, I'm not connected with them. Like separate himself. I mean, is this about that time, or do you think he needs to keep himself like?
I kind of think it's a big advantage of nobody really knows who it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think that people would have gone after him, all sorts of stuff. And we don't know if it's a him or a her or a group of people. Most likely, given the secret's been kept under wraps, probably just one person. And that person was ingenious. Like, they really saw the future. Remarkable invention they created out of thin air.
Time traveler, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But no, I kind of like the fact that he remains anonymous. It keeps it from being about personality.
Right. They can't go. They have to go after the product. They can't go after the product and a person. Yeah, I like that.
And then the last thing, the doggone, I'm talking about the July stuff. The other thing that dropped in July, Mark Zuckerberg hadn't been on Twitter in 11 years. He come on Twitter in July and dropped a meme of two Spider-Mans pointing at each other, which means him and Elon Musk. But Elon Musk don't own the X. Microsoft owns the X, period, trademark. Mark Zuckerberg owns the X in social media world. So now they teamed up together, and they dropped that in July. They letting us know they're changing America in our month that we celebrate America. And that once they've done all that stuff, you can't. Once the Starlink system is put into place, I just think Elon controls our position, and then they'll be able to. It won't matter if you got a phone or not. If you lived 100 miles off in the ocean in the deep, they'll be able, you know what I mean? They're gonna be able to track because it's gonna have 5G and that Starlink, and it's gonna be they'll be able to switch back and forth just like God's eye on the commercial.
Oh, sure. But and here's my take on all this, Randall, across the board. There's no putting the genie back in the bottle.
Right.
I think it was Margaret Thatcher when Gorbachev and Reagan were like, let's just get rid of nukes. And Margaret Thatcher was fit to be tied with Reagan going, Ronnie, I'd cheat. Right. You can't uninvent something. Right. And so the question is, okay, these things have been invented, these new technologies, how will they be used? There will always be systems of control and yada, yada, yada. But I still believe people can create systems that actually serve people well instead of a few select interests or authoritarians.
And there's a new, I guess you call it internet coming that's going to connect. It's kind of like blockchain. And when your man gets on there from XI Repair, when he comes, I know he knows all about it. Ain't no sense in me trying to even explain it because I don't know crap about it. But it's going to hook everybody thing together. It's going to be like a blockchain internet, and you'll be able to send information through it. And like I don't know, it's crazy how it's going to work, man. But it's going to end up hooking everything back together in the end. Is what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm scared. Everything's going to end up being connected, and we're still not going to be free. So I love you, man. If y'all keep this up, I mean, even though we can't stop it, at least we can prepare our grandchildren. You know what I mean? When they have enough of it and start shooting back. Love y'all.
Appreciate it, Randall.
Take care, Randall.
Well, this went to heady territory pretty quick.
Well, he brought up something about, the aliens. They have told us about aliens. Still won't tell us about the Epstein list, though, Joey. What's that tell you? We'll admit to the aliens that we've been denying for the last 100+ years, but we still won't release the Epstein list.
Maybe the aliens are running that cabal.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's very healthy to go, I don't know, I'm not in control of most of this stuff. We're more just out here in America watching it. And we can at least talk about it, even if we're doing so ignorantly.
Well,
But
to me, they're so because they know that their names are all over that Epstein list. They will literally show us aliens before they will show us that list.
well, I still haven't seen the aliens. Oh, and by the way, remember Dan Goldman? He was the lawyer for the impeachment process of Trump.
Yep.
He's now an elected member of Congress.
Oh.
And he came out of a hearing saying, at no point did Devin Archer say that Joe and Hunter discussed business. He was just calling in to check on his dad.
What?
And Dan Goldman wants us to believe that.
Sorry.
Sure. But that's where it's going. Honestly, at the end of the day, this is bigger than Biden.
Sure.
And I think what the Bidens are doing, well, it's kind of par for the course there in D.C.
No, to me, they're stepping it up, man. They are saying,
maybe they're better than the average bear, sure,
well,
but
it's not they're better than the average bear. They're just stepping it up and saying, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
All these different things. They're like, no, that's not happening. We see it happening in front of ours. Yeah, but what you going to do about it?
yeah, and maybe Devin Archer did do the whole, we go way back in the olive oil business thing. Who knows? This part of the program brought to you by Bath Innovations of Alabama. And today's the final day, I believe.
That's right. That is right, Joey.
Final day of July, where you can get 25% off this Alexis walk-in bathtub system. Now, this is state-of-the-art technology that you can have in your very own home, folks.
Mm-hmm.
The Alexis walk-in bathtub comes with 5 standard therapies, things like hydrotherapy, jet massage, a total of 10 water jets massage the body, eliminating pain-causing lactic acid in the muscles while helping to relieve body aches and inflammation. Or how about the air bubble therapy?
Oh, I like that, Joey.
18 air spa jets release thousands of tiny bubbles, creating a gentle, caressing massage. It improves circulation.
Yep.
And it also helps you feel less heavy. It increases buoyancy within the
Kind
tub.
of makes you tickle a little bit, I'll be honest.
And then don't forget the color chromatherapy or the aromatherapy this thing comes with, or the ozone therapy and purification. It's UL approved, really top-notch system. And so you can get 25% off, but you got to ask about it. 25% off there at Bath Innovations of Alabama. You can always call Brad and his team at 271-2723. That's 271-2723. You can also go to bathinnovations.com, but I really encourage you to stop by their showroom, 2331 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, and be sure to tell Brad and the team, well, you heard about him here on News and Views in the afternoon. More News and Views, well, after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Next contestant.
Honey, you look confused. What's wrong?
I'm having a hard time remembering to take my medications like I'm supposed to. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to worry you.
I'm glad you told me, because I heard that Adams Drugs has a medicine on time service that will package your monthly medications and make them easier to manage. Our neighbors, Bill and Leslie, mentioned the other day that they use Adams and how they have made it so easy for them to manage their medications.
Do you think we can call Adams Drugs or go by there and see if they can help me? I don't want to get to the point where you have to put me into an assisted living home.
Why don't you get your medications together right now, and let's go down to Adams and talk to the pharmacist.
How much does the medicine on time service cost?
I asked Bill that same question, and he told me it's a free service for Adams customers.
Free? Wow, I'm feeling really good about this already. Let me grab my meds list.
Call Adams Drugs Medicine on time for your pharmacist consultation. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for more information on our Medicine on Time packaging service.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought
because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man. Your money man? With the money plan. I see. So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know? I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest. 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And he has a website at retirewithernest.com. Hey, you're on top of it today, man. I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting. Yes, I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air. Why were you taken off the air? Too much foul language, man. Oh my, I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Still got Eddie Bader, my trusty sidekick here in the studio. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing good. Joey, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. And we got Papa John on the line. Hey, Papa John.
What's up, Papa John?
Hey, guys. I've been sitting here listening to all this going on for a long time today, and I know y'all have hashed through this many times. Right now, it seems like the common denominator is that we are looking towards monetary means that will mean you no longer have any way to have any anonymity in a transaction.
Right.
Right now, it's either cash or barter to have, anonymity. I can't help it. This is not unfamiliar territory. Most of us have read about it. When you find out that you can no longer sell or buy without having some kind of identification, which that can take almost any form. But that leaves you where you have no way to have any transaction between anybody in the world without the world knowing about it or the world having access to it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm very uncomfortable with that. The idea of somebody being able to trace everything I do.
Me too.
I'll give you an example. Right now, I can, if I want to, send my grandchildren cash or something that's equivalent to cash that's not recorded somewhere and give them a gift.
Right.
If this happens, if you got this cryptocurrency is the only means by which you can make a transaction, your life is going to be a total open book. And I don't really have a problem with that, except I don't think anybody needs that information.
Agreed.
And that's not coming. That's been here for a while.
Well, maybe so. You still have cash,
Sure.
and you can do things with some anonymity.
Right.
My problem is you can go to Revelation 13 and read all about it. And in Revelation 13, it says you will not be able to buy or sell without some kind of identification. It says specifically there the mark of the beast. Now, to me, right now, our federal government has got as many characteristics as the beast, of the beast, as you could possibly approve.
Yep.
And it doesn't scare me because I don't think I'm going to be involved in this anyway. I'm going to be gone before that. But this whole thing, if you listen to it, if you listen to yourself talk about it, it's very familiar. It's very, very familiar. And that is one of the things that most people need to be observing is that this is something, I think Randall said, we can't get away from it. It's going to happen. Well, I'm not going to argue with you. I think he's right. But hopefully, if I am true to my beliefs, there's going to be something that's going to happen that's going to take me out of it, and I hope I'm right. So, don't anybody be surprised. Randall today is the prophet because he said we can't avoid it. It's already in place. Going that direction. It's going to happen. And if you see things happen over and over again, it leads me to believe that he's absolutely right. And those of us who believe the way we do hope that this is going to be something we don't even have to be involved in. Anyway, guys, it's been a very enticing and very interesting program. And let's keep listening to what's going on and what people are saying. And it's going to really give you some real reason for introspection.
Well, I appreciate the time, Papa John.
Thank you, Papa John.
All right, bud. Talk to you later.
See you, buddy.
272-9228. Yeah, no, he's not off base. He's over the target.
My big concern, he's right about, being anonymous about things. But let's say I send my grandchild $100, and I've got to do it through the stupid FedCoin or whatever. The government's going to charge her a tax on that. That's my biggest issue.
It's already happening with our current financial system.
Not if I slip her $100.
Like cash?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they still are able to take a tax out of that.
How?
They print more of it. You dope.
But she gets my $100 that I gave her, Joey.
I know. No,
And
but
in
I'm
my
saying,
mind-
folks, they're already ripping you off and taxing your cash. That's what inflation is most of the
When
time.
I give somebody $100, it's $100. It ain't $90.
Yeah, they didn't have to raise your taxes directly because they can just go create more of it and devalue that $100 now worth $90, now worth $80, now worth $70. It's essentially worth nothing if you go from $100 100 years ago. Why do you think housing prices across the board have gone up? It's not just like, this location has been developed, like Lake Martin's really blowing and going. There is that, of course.
Yeah.
But why is a house in South Compton that was bought in the 60s for $40,000 worth over $650,000 now? It's not because the property values all of a sudden got that much more, better. It's that money has gotten less and less valuable.
Sure.
And so one of the assets that actually holds up against inflation is housing. But that's a good measure. When you look over, say, the last 100 years, the value of your dollar continues to plummet, and they have sent it into hyperdrive in the last few years. That's why when they talk about, we brought inflation down, look at the great job we did. See how, after ripping everybody off. So.
Well, with housing prices, you bring up, they're super high in California. Yeah. Supply and demand.
Yes.
It's supply and demand. They're not super high here. And we still have a supply and demand
But how about
issue.
compared to 1960?
Supply and demand.
No, but the prices of houses here compared to the houses here in 1960. Same exact house. Same exact bricks and sticks.
I can take you to a house in Highland Gardens that was bought for $15,000 in 1960. I can take you that same house today. You can get it for $15,000.
Yeah.
So what's your issue there?
Well, that one's probably not.
Right, but the one that has been kept up and the one that's in really good shape, the one that people have invested money into, well, that one's going to be a little bit more.
Right. I'm just saying supply and demand isn't the only reason you're seeing, 10x multiples of valuations on these properties that haven't changed that much. Has a lot more to do with, people trying to store places, their money places that will actually hold that value.
The land. That's why so many people buy land here in Alabama. It's cheap, no taxes.
Right. And
very low tax.
Honestly, that's partly why I think our housing market is so screwed up. Especially when you see that, BlackRock is buying something like 20% of homes right now in the market. Yeah, that suggests something is really topsy-turvy. No, I think, Eddie, to your point, the only thing that should really dictate the house is the supply and demand of the house. But essentially,
do that. You got neighborhood. What neighborhood you want to be in?
Right, but over, say, the 100-year period, they've been screwing around with the monetary unit, with the dollar amount. That a lot of places.
What about a car? Cars gone up more than a house.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Everything's more expensive for the most part because of the devaluation of your currency.
Also, look at your technology. What was a house and a car that was in the 50s?
Right, and they claim, we're making up for that. That's why it's more expensive.
All right, I'll give it that.
And yes, there have been real improvements in life, say, over the last 100 years. But I don't think you need to devalue people's savings and actual money in order to do it.
No, but if they invest in real estate, it pays off over time.
Except for that one Highland home house. Let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hey, guys, hang on just a second. Let me take you off the... All right. Hey, Joy. Hey, Eddie.
How you doing, Sammy?
I'm a little rough, but I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you have a good weekend?
Yes, I did. I did a little yard work, and I decided, okay, I'm on a, I'm a victim of fad. I have to do fad things.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I'm doing a fad diet right now.
Ooh.
I'm on the Ozempic diet.
Is that one you get the injections?
Yes, the injection, 25 mil. I'm on the smallest injection. It started last Tuesday. Tomorrow's my injection day. And, man, I'm joking about it, but it does help. You can tell it's strong medicine. Help get your blood sugar down.
Oh.
And for 3 days, they say, you'll get used to it. Yeah, there was 3 days of nausea. And he's like, well, don't drink. Now, don't drink. I said, okay. So Saturday rolls around. And I drank, but a little bit, just a little.
Yeah.
But still, yeah. I'm going to have to lay off that.
Really?
Wait, when you say I drank just a little, is this kind of like that guy who went viral years and years ago saying, well, I don't smoke crack cocaine? Like, is it kind of that logic that, I don't do that?
Depends on what you drink, Joey.
I didn't drink that much. I mean, I did drink a shot of tequila.
Right.
But I didn't drink like I normally do when I smoke crack cocaine. Yeah.
I can honestly say it was half of a normal binge evening.
Well.
So, yeah.
Was there adverse effects?
Yeah. Well, listen, it wasn't a hangover. It's just extreme nausea. Your system really.
So they're giving you an anti-appetite medicine that makes you sick.
Yes, it does.
No brainer.
You can, and listen, I like a healthy meal, aka large portions.
Yeah.
You can't do that. It really does. It cuts you back on your amount just through nausea.
And also, I'd imagine that thing is breaking down a lot of your fat cells, right? That medicine.
Well, it reduces the amount of sugar that your system will intake, and so your body begins to give up sugars that are stored. Yeah, I don't know.
Right, and that'll break down the fat.
Is this like them chips they made back in the day where they said you could eat a bunch of them, but they gave you flaming fast bad diarrhea?
I love those chips. Our American Sorry. That worked.
I tried to go. I knew this conversation was going in that direction. I was trying not to get all scatological here. Like, have your stools been extra smelly lately, Sam? We want to know everything.
I want to know if it was like them chips.
Well, baby, you'll get everything. You'll get the truth from me.
Yeah.
Joey, I respect your show. You'll get the truth from me.
I appreciate that.
It was actually something. But anyways, my diet's going great. Like I said, I'll shoot up tomorrow, mainline the stuff. And that's so bad. I hate needles. But it is. I'm focusing on healthy life, trying to improve myself.
Well, good to hear,
in the world. Oh, the Bitcoin thing. When you were talking about that, the first thing that hit me, I have received money over wire and have wired money before. I wonder what Wells Fargo, I guess they'll adapt to the Bitcoin, but still,
well, a lot of places in the world nowadays, in fact, like in Kenya and African places like that, a lot of everything is just is via like a Cash App type deal. So it really eliminated, I forget the companies that did the wiring, but it really put a hurting on them. Because if I can send via my Cash App on my telephone, I don't know if you remember the charges, but man, it used to be outrageous. Like, it was like $60 to send $200 or something. It was outrageous. I did it several times with my buddies in Jamaica. And once they came out with Cash App, didn't need that no more.
Yeah, I did it out of Saudi Arabia and out of Central America.
No, a lot of remittances are now being done on crypto and Bitcoin networks. And it is the future. And it's like this with a lot of other subjects. A change is coming. It's just, is it going to be like, the mark of the beast, or is it something a little more wholesome?
Yeah. But the whole thing with Salvador, I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. The time that I was down there in 94, I was in and out of the capital city. I was all over the place. But the locals told me, they had these little banks, but you never saw anyone in the parking lot coming or going. It's like, no, somebody sees you going in and out of a bank, you'll get robbed.
Right.
So most of the locals would do their cash transactions through several of the department stores and whatnot. And so when I heard about them going to Bitcoin, it just made perfect sense. Absolute sense.
Oh, yeah, a lot more secure.
Yeah.
Well, I got to run, Sam. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Listen, hey, thanks for taking my call, brother. Talk to y'all later.
Sammy.
272-9228. Thank you, Ole Miss, for starting all of this. No, seriously, easy show for me. We'll just get all these calls rolling in.
Well, I think it shows to me, even in Alabama, people are somewhat open, at least ones who discuss Bitcoin. Where, honestly, I got to be honest, in Alabama, I thought people would be like, I ain't into that devil worship and music and money. No, I want my cash.
Well, you still get some of that.
I'm all about the cash.
Like I said, they're already taxing that cash.
Right, but what I'm worried about is let's say I am walking down the street and I got some cash. If someone takes it, that's it, man.
True.
That's it. You know, that's supposed to be the whole
benefit
benefit
of the bank.
Well,
this is the deal. Some people will put up with their transactions being open to anybody to look at.
Right.
And put up with they don't actually have the final property right in the money in their bank account. They'll do that for convenience and security reasons.
Right.
And that's fine. People can make that choice.
We do that now, really.
Right. People can make that choice. It's just people should also have the other choice, if they so please, to actually preserve their wealth and not have the government looking under every nook and cranny of it.
Well, also, I don't like the idea of the government being in control of that.
Right.
If they decide, Joey Clark, you're not going to eat today because you ate a little bit too much yesterday, I like to be able to have my cash go, oh, yeah? Watch this fat boy go get a Twinkie. Can't do that if they're controlling all my money.
Have you ever heard of the story? We got to hit a break here, but the island of Yap?
No.
It was kind of a island in the middle of nowhere that was discovered, and their monetary system was fascinating. It was these huge, and I mean huge, limestone discs that, you know, it had like all sorts of etchings to show so-and-so gave, you know, 2 goats for a cow or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like it was their accounting system. And there are only a few of these limestones, and they were so big, and it serviced most of the people. And actually, the system went to hell when some colonialists, like, let's bring more limestone to the island.
Well, duh.
And they're like, damn it, you just messed up. We've been using this system for hundreds of years. And so the trick is you got to find something that can't be recreated, like limestone. Gold worked for the longest time.
Right.
And then people are like, well, gold's expensive to move across space. So let's start trading notes. And then it goes from, well, just have the governments back it up. And now we're at where we're at. We're at that fiat system, I think. Well, something's got to give. When you look at like the BRIC system, how many folks want to jump in, African nations, South American nations, all throughout Asia, Asia Minor even, you're starting to see the rest of the world, the East, so to speak. It's not just the East. They're tired of the West.
Yeah.
And they're tired of the U.S. full spectrum dominance of the world reserve currency. So I think something is going to give here. It'd just be nice if America takes the lead to make a change that actually fosters economic growth and personal property rights and liberties.
Haven't done that quite
as
some
opposed
time,
to a
Joey.
centralized clearinghouse.
Right.
This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro Services. Ashley and her team are standing by. They're ready to help you.
Oh, yeah.
We often talk about the specialty stuff they do. But I would prefer, folks, you just make them your everyday pest control company.
They do a great job, Joey.
They've been doing that for you for a while, haven't
Yes, they have. And when they're coming out, they usually give me a heads up a couple days in advance. I know they're coming.
And how frequent is it, do you think?
I want to say it's quarterly, but
Quarterly,
it's so infrequent, or they do such a good
They don't
job.
need to, yeah.
I don't know when they're coming or
Right.
going. I usually just get a little note from Zach that says, hey, I missed you.
So if you have Pest Pro come by for regular visits, you know you're taken care of. But maybe you haven't called them yet. Maybe you need mosquitoes taken care of in your yard if you like to enjoy the backyard or the front porch. Or maybe you've got termites already have hit your property. You're seeing that damage. You need it taken care of. Pest Pro can help you there. They can help you with any imaginable pest control problem. So check them out today. You can always call Ashley and her team at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. You can also go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. They have a very active Facebook page there. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and the team that, well, Joey and Eddie from News and View sent you. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Are we loco at Marguerite's? Oh, yeah. Yes, we are. We've lost our mind at Marguerite's. We're doing polish, rhodium, and inspection of rings only, till August 5th for no charge. Now, everyone else charges $150 to $300. We charge $65 to $100. But forget about that. Bring in up to 5 rings. Doesn't matter if they're from Marguerite's or not. Doesn't matter if you ever shopped at Marguerite's or not. It's real quiet. There's no small print on this. Just trying to create a little traffic at Marguerite's. Till August 5th. Bring in your old rings. Let us make them look like new.
Here we have one of nature's most volatile environments, the bathroom. This often dry landscape will occasionally see immense floods. No one truly knows the cause.
Waterproof flooring for your great indoors. Get it at Flooring America, where friends send friends.
Looking to freshen up your house? Come see your local flooring and countertop experts. Carol's Carpet Flooring America has everything for your kid-proof, pet-proof, and waterproof needs. Mention code BABY to receive a special discount.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way. Offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are we loco at Marguerite's? Oh, yeah. Yes, we are. We've lost our mind at Marguerite's. We're doing polish, rhodium, and inspection of rings only, till August 5th for no charge. Now, everyone else charges $150 to $300. We charge $65 to $100. But forget about that. Bring in up to 5 rings. Doesn't matter if they're from Marguerite's or not. Doesn't matter if you ever shopped at Marguerite's or not. It's real quiet. There's no small print on this. Just trying to create a little traffic at Marguerite's till August 5th. Bring in your old rings. Let us make them look like new.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by JB Windows and Siding. Call Jones Brothers. You'll be glad you did.
JB Windows and Siding has what you're looking for. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On this last day of July, temperatures are headed for the upper 90s again, but the difference is the humidity will be a little bit more bearable than the weekend. Today's high temperature up to about 97. There will be plenty of sunshine. I've got the rain chances at 20% or less today. Tonight, slowed down to about 74. Tomorrow, first day of August, lots of sunshine, high 98. Should be dry Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday's high around 96. Widely scattered storms returning Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Looking for a tractor, excavator, mower, ag implements, or other equipment? Capital Tractor is as close as your smartphone or computer. Find the best deals, financing information, and browse new and used inventory with just a click at CapitalTractor.com.
Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. The man humming along to this little ditty, Eddie Bader.
Get a little tune here, buddy.
Made this, man, a while ago now.
Yeah.
But it's stuck around. Man, it's stuck around. Let's go to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
I'm putting my pen down. I stopped.
Put your pen down, Ray.
Day. Been going. I mean, I was at Auburn by 7 o'clock this morning, back in Prattville by 9.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Just blowing and going as quick as we can get her done. We got 2 more weeks of this.
That's what happens when you take a week off to go to Alaska, Ray.
Why do we take vacations? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Now, is that, what would you say? I know you'll go real far for the right job, but what do you say is your normal kind of diameter, like where you're covering here?
I would say if you hit 65 all the way to Auburn, Lake Martin, Dable, Pike Road, that whole area.
Okay.
If you're going north, Clanton, I do a little bit in Birmingham, but I better like you a lot to go to Birmingham.
I bet you do.
You know, Montgomery, Selma, Evergreen, and Greenville. Greenville's about as far south as we go. Unless it's the right job. Hey, you know what? Remember when the hurricanes came through? I went down and did a couple of houses on the beach.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, well, that was for a friend that a couple of buddies that had them, and they were like, "Man, they're not going to get to us for 8 months down here."
It just
I'm like,
sounds so crazy.
"Come on, I'll get them done next week."
Well, so folks, you heard it here. If it is the right job, they'll travel. They'll go the extra mile, but you're always offering that free in-home measurement, that consultation, as y'all call it.
That's it. So just give us a call, 285-8117. Come out, give you that free measurement.
Folks, when you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles here on the radio on News and Views with Joey and Eddie.
Guys, have a great day.
You too, Ray.
Great guy.
He's a great guy, man.
Yeah, he's fun to work with. A dream of a client, so to speak.
I'm glad that he's learned to read a measuring tape. I wonder if that trophy's still sitting on his desk.
So did we learn anything today? Well, I like Andrew Szymanski. I did. Actually, I thought he was very. It's cool to see a young entrepreneur like that throwing their hat into local politics.
Yeah, I did like that. Seems like a good guy. Like I said, he's locally tied to the community. He might not be from here, but he put his money in this community. He's got I believe, a coffee shop here, and he purchased a home. So.
Well, and we learned today that the Democrats are saying there's nothing to this Devin Archer testimony. They just were. He was just checking on his dad in the middle of a business trip. He was checking on his dad.
Right.
That's all it
was.
was.
And not forget that they did ask someone to show up to jail instead of go to testify, Joey.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Same fellow. Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Right.
What if it's you? Are you torn like that, Joey? Do I go to jail? Do I go to testify?
It depends who's going to kill me.
Right. That's
who's
my
controlling the security cameras that magically go on and off? Yeah. We learned that Pee Wee Herman died today.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I didn't know he was died of cancer.
And was that pretty under wraps?
I believe it was. I know he was sick. I know I'd heard something like that, but I didn't know it was cancer. And I really hate it for him. You know, Pee Wee Herman, we made fun of him, but at the end of the day, we all kind of ended up falling back in love with the guy.
Oh yeah, he had a nice run there.
My favorite line though was when he came on to MTV Music Awards. I forget the year, but he says, "You heard any good jokes lately?" That was great. He got it.
I don't remember that.
That's before your time, young man.
It is before my time. But, like, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is not technically really a kid's movie, is it?
Oh, it's not a kid's movie.
I didn't think so.
No, and that was the whole thing, that when he came on the MTV Music Awards, it was after he got caught in a theater.
Oh, okay.
Hence the heard any good jokes lately.
Oh. Yeah, he's 70. Private bout of cancer. Same thing Norm MacDonald did. And you know what? I can't blame those folks
who
don't want to share the struggle publicly.
No, I don't blame that at all.
But here is the statement. Please accept my apology for not going public with what I've been facing the last 6 years. I've always felt a huge amount of love and respect for my friends, fans, and supporters. I've loved you all so much and enjoyed making art for you. Wow. Well, rest in peace, Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
And on that, poignant note, appreciate it, Eddie.
Me too, Joey.
Appreciate y'all listening. More news and views. Tomorrow, we'll have the Judge Napolitano, kicking things off, and then who knows what we'll get into next. Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Bedell. Well, he's next.